I have streamer stuff to do really fast. YouTube people, live chat, not top chat. Top chat censors the people, live chat's where it's at. There we go, got it. And then cute little template got revised because I had issues with it. So it's less shit now. Kind of. A little bit. If everything was easy, you'd be bored. You know what I had to do earlier today? I forgot. I had to uninstall Fortnite briefly because I was moving WSL from one disk to another before I did the reinstall. And by doing so, I kind of forgot that my WSL instance had to decompress itself. And so during decompression, it would fill up an extra 100 gigabytes. So I removed Fortnite.
Take a sip and dip in the oasis blue. Staying cool across the desert land. Worth it in the end for me and you. Get up and let's dance. The music makes you sway. Look at my dress.
I'll just do the reinstall light. Apparently that might work. I don't know why it's being a butthole. I have no clue. I just want it to, there we go, reinstall yourself. Thank you, BBYs. Not even gonna do the high-res textures. Literally just grabbing the thing. Do not even care. I'm fishing around on the MIDI controller.
Let's play a game of pool. Maybe sit inside the bar like half of you.
I really do love Take Me Away from the Stellar Blade Winter EP. It's kind of the best thing ever for a song. It definitely is like the best song ever. It kind of goes hard. It's kind of pretty.
The music makes you sway. Look at my dress. How about an ocean maid? Aren't you obsessed? Don't ever look away. Take me away. I'm gonna wear all your favorite outfits, like swimsuit, knitted dresses. Come on, get up, dance with me. Come on, look up, feel the breeze. You wanna see me wear
Now what's on the front page of YouTube is what I was going to ask myself. This is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous thumbnail. Asmund standing on his chair seems like health and safety would not approve. World's smallest, cheapest hacking computer? That seems like bullshit, bro. I don't know, man. Like, you can do a Gentoo install on your phone and not be a fucking... How do I say this nicely? I don't. And not be a fucking loser. Anyways, you don't need Kali to be elite hacksaw. To be fair, I use Kali for my little home server, and it doesn't do any network intrusion investigation. It's actually just a very quiet box I use for virtualization and containers. I run a single node Kubernetes cluster on it, and that's about it. It does very actual little. It's just cute. Hello, bing boing. Bing boing boing. Oh my gosh, sorry, the Mr. Trump fucking song is stuck in my head, but not in the deepest way, just there. Y'all, I'm almost ready to reinstall Windows. I just don't have the Windows ISO on the server yet. Also, turns out, this little device can't run Foreman. That's like also a thing. So this is like the fork without, this is the branch with no Foreman. Because apparently, absolutely apparently, we have a teensy little ishy-wishy. Oh, I put the README in here finally. Took a long time. Literally just 3 ports. Took a while to get to it. The cute little thing, huh? Cute little thing. I don't really have much to say about this. IPA is being buggy for me if anyone's had any luck with it or has spun up my container. Does your HTTP service go down after the first time? Because I'm pretty sure I wrote an issue to myself. Nope. New issue. Bug. That's when it's like bug in brackets. Let's see. HTTP fails to come back up after init and restart. Install step 1, install IPA. Step 2, restart IPA container. Step 3, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step 4, profit, but not really. Yeah, definitely not really, because it's not profiting. It's kind of dying like a little bitch. Like I would do. There we go. That's a good issue. If you want a bunch of containers running on your network, then you need like a server, not a Raspberry Pi. Well, I don't use, see, I use the little B-Link device on this one. I literally just have this running on a Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi purely takes care of PXE as a primary PXE, and that's just its job. It literally is just PXE, so I can deal with everything else from the little Pi. This runs on the, hold on. Let's see, can I find the B-Link that I'm using? I found the link to it. Give me but 1 second, my duders. My duder with the computers. I got y'alls. I got y'alls. 1 second. I'm getting it, 1 sec. I need just a second. Okay, cool beans. Boop, making it smaller. There we go. What I use for my little home server is this machine. Like, so this is what does the majority of the workload, is this little bastard. It's a cute little bastard, and its name is Butthole. Sorry, I like to see where the VPN thinks I'm located sometimes, and I don't know where the fuck this one is, so that's cute. I don't know, it's fun. It's like my second favorite game. Where in the world is Bitch Tits San Diego? So, little AMD graphics card that I don't really get to use for much, of course. Again, Ryzen 5, 5500U. It's got that Wi-Fi 6, which works well with my network. Comes with, this is not the size I came with. I came with less space than this. Don't you lie to me. Yeah, I came with 500 gigs. That's some bullshit. They have this like riced out one. This is riced out to fuck. Mind you, I first know I have the 24 giggies. They were on sale a lot more a little bit ago. And so that was very nice. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. Cute little device. This is what takes care of all my home server needs for most of my containers. This is where I'll run most things. But for the specific context of just and purely just the PXE, this is what runs on a Raspberry Pi. It's basically a little bitch. It smiles pretty. Also, my commit message looks like somebody, it looks like somebody got into something. I don't know what that thing is, but it looks like somebody got into something. And that thing might be the Jankum, might be the crocodile. Seems like a mess. I don't know. IPA, for instance, runs on the cute little B-Link on the other hand. Like, oh sorry, not the B-Link, the whatever the fuck it is. The B-Link Mini PC AMD Ryzen 5 Yi. It's cozy though, like legitimately, it's really cozy. I'm a big fan of it. It sits on my desk. If I have to leave the house to go somewhere, I'm slamming it and my backup Unify gateway in my purse or backpack, and I'm gonna hit out the open road and do some unhinged shit. It's the do. It's definitely the do. It is the do that I will do. Oh, that's the thing I have open. And this is just like little Babby. But for serving up PXE only, I can't do Foreman on this one. So if I leave the house or if I need to set up Foreman, I'll literally just run a secondary PXE on the desk server, and I'll just like I'll just like submit myself to it. Like I'll just make a little one-time edit in this file and kind of like shoot myself over. Or I'll have it load like an optional that just pushes a load to something else, possibly. Because that would be very efficacious. You know, have like a optional file located in the root. The other suitcase for like 2.5 years. Had a bunch of Raspberry Pis, dope. That you had them working cozily. I'm tired of ARM devices, honestly. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm really, really tired of ARM devices. I love them, but I'm tired of their asses. A bunch of Raspberry Pis clustered together in a case to do VPN back to the United States, block advertising and playing. Oh! You said games. That got me. I'm gettable. You just have to say video games. I've got my little... Hold on, 1 second. I've got Babby in case I have to like go outside of the house for like a period of like, let's say I have to go to like a hotel, the motel, or the Holiday Inn, and you know, a friend's house, my house burns down, whatever. I'll grab this, my desk server, my Steam Deck. I've got a backpack ready to go with a wireless keyboard and mouse. Got an external monitor if I really need to take it. Little wireless one, so I'll just, or a little battery powered one. So I'll just like hit the open road. No fucking shits involved. Have a sword, that makes it better. I'd take a Tonto with me. It doesn't have Arch Linux with awesome window manager on it, so it doesn't taste like rice. Sorry, I just brought the most highbrow, lowbrow GNU/Linux joke out of the fucking woodwork, and I should atone for my sins today. Anyways, little cute thing running. This needs AMD. Oh, sorry, this needs ARM. This needs not ARM. This needs AMD 64. Main branch for PXE works fine with ARM. Foreman branch, can't use ARM with it. Literally forgot this when I started to test the build on it. But I did fix the big thing for me. Like, the big fucking snafu that I'm glad that is addressed right now is, where do we go? Here and here. Let's say in both of these. So in our, not there, I'm being dumb, not DNS mask. I don't remember anymore. I'm having a dumb people moment. Haha. Oh, holy shit. Just a little thing. Laziest index PHP ever. Literally just loads menu.ipxe, which I had to click on to remember what I was looking for. Menu.ipxe, on the other hand, y'all, oops, that's too big. That's a little bit too big. It's a little bit gnarly. Y'all. I just put PHP directly in it, and I hate PHP, and I hate JavaScript. I do, I really, really fucking do. I don't like them. I don't want to make front-end stuff. I want to do back-end stuff. I want to do back-end things for the back-end bros. But, that said, it's real easy to write fucking PHP to solve for your fucking PXE, tell you that much, my dudes. It's real fucking cozy. Not a problem at all for me. I like it. I think it's nice. I think it's very nice. I'm a big fan. It's so little. It's so auto-generating and little. Oh! I'll go to hell now, it's fine. I'll go find myself in hell. Thank you. Thank you, Oodles. But if you do want to, like, make fun of our gnarly bullshit, or, you know, clone it, whatever, we have a link tree, and I'm the only Twitch streamer to have a link tree that doesn't have an OnlyFans on it. I'm pretty sure ever. I think that's a world record. I think I'm a world record holder. Tell Guinness that I'm not paying them money, and I don't give a fuck about their records. Tectone, holy shit, that's a scary title. The buffalo and the eagle died. That eagle's not even alive. They were never alive to begin with. That's kind of... As a person that needs levity to manage every 10 seconds, the eagle never being alive makes this funny. I need levity, or I just drop dead. I can't help myself. I'm broken. That's all I've got. What? I thought this was Nova Online. Ooh. Go to my watch later. You can go sit at the top of that. That's worth it. That's some good content there. Some report of the week with a very upsetty, spaghetti-looking facey-wacy. That's the kind of shit I can live with. That's nice. I like that shit. Ooh, this is a pretty case. I wanna fucking eat it. Look how cute this is. Look how cute this thing is. I wanna eat it. I wanna eat it. I wanna put it in my mouth and eat it. Golly gee willikers. Hot damn on Nidoran. This thing pretty. How is it so pretty? Ooh. Ooh. Big ass cooler? Question mark? Hold on, we're just gonna turn their audio down, I don't give a fuck. Turn their speed up, I don't give a fuck. How's this so cute? It's so pretty. Fast, ooh-wee! Hee-haw, brother! God damn, that's some ooh! Shiny. That's a cooler. That's what I call a cooler. Holy cannoli. Ooh, got some RAM today. That is fucking awesome. Yeah, I want this case like some people want to breathe air. Okay, if I travel, instead of just taking my desk server, can I have this and my desk server? It's really pretty. I want this, like, so bad. Holy fuck, it's so pretty. Holy shit. How many millions of dollars? It's a me. Consumerism finally hit me in the Big 26. Kiki's been making videos about consumerism destroying the West for ages. And in the Big 26, it just hit me like a pile of bricks. And I don't mean bricks like the financial plan, I mean bricks like I just got clusterfucked by a piece of hardware. And I want it. I want it so bad. I like that Gablin. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, that's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, that's so pretty. Gets dusty as fuck, oh, I bet. I mean, you know, the thing is, like, you know, we're the cool ones. We save our air dusting materia for cleaning computers. So at least we don't have, like, I don't know, there was a point in my life where if I had, like, the shit for, like, blowing out my computer, I would be afraid that some of my friends would try to steal the thing and do it as a drug. But I don't know those people presently. So I'm just saying, like, it'll cost a lot less to keep it clean now than it would have then, so... And way back then, we didn't have cute little mini builds. So that was a whole nother mess. Is Fortnite done yet? I want to touch it. I want to touch it and play with it. Oh, what's this man up to? Is it just me, or does he look like Does he look like somebody put an electric blower sucker up his dick tip today? What a guy. I mean no offense. I'm like pretty sure I mean no offense. Hold on. I need to cheer myself up again. I was rude. Wee. Y'all, I'm gonna shoot this link to you right the fuck now. This is like some pretty. I don't know if y'all are curious too, but I want to fucking window shop the fuck out of this. I will probably never get it. I don't care. It's so pretty. Anyways, like and subscribe. Their content seems dope. Oops. That's what I get for the last thing being like that. Okay. How's he start out?
Not
Risk
again.
levels.
Here I am. Another video.
The MOBA was pretty as. There, it's just quick this way.
Another year, first upload of 2026. And what do I have in store exactly? 2 videos ago, I was here at the same table, giving a conversation that, I don't know how similar it's going to be to this, but I sat here and I talked about the methodology about doing the reviews, I talked about Popeyes, and then I mentioned in that video, well, the new year is going to come around, and usually around the new year, then things pick up with the fast food releases again. There's going to be an abundance of things to review, and that's going to be that. So, of course, the new year rolls around, and then I start checking the resources again. And there's nothing. Alright, I give it a couple days. There's still nothing. Then, Arby's releases an item, their Italian beef dip. Pass on that.
You know, I made an arrangement a little bit ago where I said the only things I would ever, if someone ever tried to pay us to talk about them on the channel, it would have to be one of the skincare companies I use, like Love From Yours, Black Girl Sunscreen, or Function of Beauty, and that would be about it. Can we open it up to, hardware vendors too, please? I'll use it. That's the thing. I just said the skincare I wanted to use for a few years first. Can I just, can we make hardware people just give me hardware? I'll do stuff with it. Fuck. We'll do the fucking Gamers Nexus drive and just send it the fuck out when we don't have a use for it in my house. I'm a big proponent of if you need more than a 1U in your house, you need to, go talk to somebody. If you have a 1U in your house, your spouse needs to probably be apprised of how much that costs on the power bill, and maybe some shit needs to happen. You know, pay the data center, pay rent to a data center, save your house the cooling bill and the fucking electric bill. Not a 1U, more than one rack, okay? That's my thing, one rack. I have a mini rack, so I have less fucking quota of shit I can put around here. I'm a fan of this, I think it's a good call.
Taco Bell releases a new freeze, which there might be minimal interest there. And then it's Arby's again with their meat and 3 box. And then nothing for a good 4 days. Now, the absence of new releases in general is something that I could warrant an entire video for that alone. But it got to me, I was thinking about this, I was thinking, of the 3 things that I could potentially review that have been released this year so far, 2 of the 3
Was man at risk of a content shortage and literally turned the prospect of a content shortage into content? Because I'm getting the vibe that he's the most clever, dapper gentleman known to humankind right now, and I'm kind of vibing with this. I respect this.
From Arby's. And then that got me personally thinking about Arby's, and then I started retrospectively in my mind thinking back to Arby's and the reviews that I've done, and I think you see where I'm getting at with the title. The pieces started coming together, and just like the Popeyes video,
You said racks with an S. You know what I'm thinking. You already know what's on my mind. I understand the data center may not take that. They'll tell you to put it in a different case first. Get in good with your data center techs. Tell them pretty things. Tell them they dress nice. Tell them they're dapper. Tell them they're sweethearts. They'll just hook you up. Just saying. Be sweethearts to data center techs. They'll take care of you. They might throw you a few extra, they might throw you a few extra trays for drives on the down low without ever asking for a thing. They might, forget to book some hours for you, too. Just not telling you that they've done it, not telling you that they should, not telling you that they will. This is not medical advice. But if you're kind to data center techs, it's the opposite of FAFO.
Where I was kind of looking back.
I mean, it actually is fuck around and find out, just the, really cozy kind, where, everybody's a happy goose.
At how they've been as a chain, both just broadly but also in regards to the channel itself. Well, I started doing the same thing with Arby's. It just kind of happened. I just started feeling the motivation. And that's why I kind of thought, oh, not again. Here we go with this again. But I do hope to get into the proper reviews soon. And this is really an opportunity that I wanted to just really share some loose thoughts about Arby's in general. And a couple things that I've observed and noted with them over the last few years especially. This is really relevant from maybe 2022 to present. I want to preface this by saying I don't mean for these videos this it's not really a series, it's just a set of talks, I guess, about whatever's on my mind with these chains. I'm not setting out to eviscerate these chains or anything like that. As a matter of fact, you'll see Arby's, they've had their successes and their failures, but this is one of those instances where I think sometimes the failures outweigh the successes in many instances. I want to take things back first and foremost. If you believe that Arby's was a novelty for me, when I was growing up, I actually didn't even have an Arby's nearby, and I didn't even have the opportunity to try anything from Arby's for pretty much the entirety of my childhood, and really going through many of my teenage years. Arby's, again, was it was a novelty. Maybe if I was on a road trip or something in a part of the country where Arby's are more abundant, then, I might be inclined to try it simply because it was so sparse and inaccessible.
Hello for all my fellow glasses-wearing people that forget to wear their glasses at times. No new food releases? Easy. Content about no new release meta. I think it's very funny.
On a day-to-day basis. So for the longest time, Arby's actually was kind of interesting to me. And you know how it is, these sorts of chains that aren't local to you, and then you finally get the opportunity to try it. And even if it's not the greatest in the world, there's sort of a little bit of an allure to it, perhaps. So that's how it was for me for a while. And then eventually with time, I started being able to get to Arby's more often, started integrating them into the channel, started reviewing them. And for a while, Arby's was pretty standard, pretty fair. They were generally...
Oh, it sounds so nice. Oh, it's Lily, off of the album. Stellar Blade OST. It's a blessing to humankind.
Popeyes was groundbreaking. They were monumental. They had one of the highest peaks as far as their chicken sandwich and all the hype concerning that is concerned, only to then crash and burn. Arby's, on the other hand, really hasn't experienced anything like that. To me anyway, from my interpretation, what I see, they're one of those chains that's always they've just kind of been around. And yes, there's been a definitive trend which you're going to see in a moment, but it's not like they have
So Fortnite soon? I'm torn. There's so much I want to play these days.
More failures.
I don't know. I'm broken.
They've had successes too.
Zephyr's broken. Where the fuck did I put Steam?
So, I will say this.
There it is.
They were a chain. They probably hit rock bottom for me.
Yeah, probably Fork Knife.
And we're going to get to that in a moment, but there was a point in 2024 where...
Well, see, the thing is, the Report of the Week would usually be eating food for us. But... maybe the no new food to make content on Meta has deprived him of fast food money. I don't know. It's wild. Family laptop, you can't wait to never play... Wait. Now that you have a family laptop, you can't wait to never play any games. Yeah, mode. That sounds about right. I sent my friend a laptop a few years ago, ended up using it with their brother. Never got to play games with my friends, ever. But again, like, it was for the brother to go to school and play games. And, you know, I play games a lot more than that person. We've been like, you know, we went to high school together, we entered the workforce together, we've worked in different but similar fields where there's like overlap between what we do. And, faming Fap Top? Were y'all here for the time this person was like repairing a, they were repairing a, oh my gosh, what's it called? A PS4, I think. It was absolutely horrendous. Fuck me running. Repair PS4 jail. Them's the words. Them's words we needs be using, bruh. Someone was like repairing someone's hardware and they found reason to like make a lot of jokes about how the person should just go to jail. I don't know how to find this again. Maybe we won't get there. Things to avoid, things to avoid. Okay, I'm gonna find this in another tabulation. Like really, really quickly.
I sat here and I actually vowed never to review them again. And it was solely because of health concerns. That's what did it.
Found it.
You ever booted up a used console and realized the previous owner left behind some stuff you really don't want to see? Well guys, I recently purchased over 350 used consoles and today we're going to test and explore about 15 of them, and let me tell you, I saw some things that are...
As long as you're not doing the Anissa Jumhad double dash and like, you know, posting about your OF on your boyfriend's YouTube and on X, I don't think anyone's going to give you shit for it. Otherwise, I'll give you a bit of shit for it, but...
honestly still making my skin crawl. Guys, welcome to be honest, I'll be surprised.
I need their intro.
Alright guys, Fat360 here with start by hopping into the system settings and see what firmware version we're on with this thing and how many gigs we got. Okay, so we're on Fortnite, boo, and kill. Alright.
Edgy, right?
What is this? We have a random photo named Carnival Island from 2012. It's got a kid in the corner. There's like is that an air hockey or foosball table kind of thing? Coffee table.
Billiards.
Wow, what is this? This is
That's
creepy,
billiards.
man. Carnival Island? Okay. We also got we got some unknown videos. Okay, we got Walking Dead launch trailer. The rest of these look a little suspicious though. Let's go ahead and boot these up and see what they are. Oh my god. Oh no. First thing I saw was a hot dog and a lady. I'll let you guess the rest. Well, I did not expect that. First
Yeah,
thing
that was just good editing.
Suspicious though. Let's go ahead and boot these up and see what they are.
Yeah, that's just good editing. That's just the note button. That's just good. So yeah, anyways. So speaking of Fap Tops.
Found up. There we go. There's a kid snowboarding. Nice. That's kind of cool. Okay, that's enough of that. All right, let's see what else is on this console, man.
It gets
Then
worse.
The
Hold
other
on.
expose this guy. All right, next up the history. Oh no. Oh wow. Okay, I'm looking at this first website here, the third one down. It says robbery-best something. That's the name of the website. I'm not gonna say it because I just can't say it. But it appears to be one of those websites where you go to and you see like actual graphic stuff. Like I'm not talking like what we saw earlier. I'm not talking hot dog and lady. I'm talking like violence, and you see the real stuff. That
World Star Hip Hop?
wow, this guy was something, man. And multiple of these websites are from that. Also, what is? I don't even recognize most of these websites here. What is this? They're just fitting.
Watch Law Abiding Citizen HD online free, Law Abiding Citizen free. Relo, create account, movies anywhere, Relo, 1, 2, 3 movies, 400
here,
bad
which-
requests. They had to Google 400 bad requests.
I just looked it up and it
Based.
appears to be like you can
We love good readers. We love people who read here.
get like books and stuff. I don't know if I looked at the right thing. Movies anywhere. 1, 2, 3 movies, 400 bad requests. My man has the most random history. Now we got some make online bartending school for your solid career support. What? Sis is got a brunette's live chat room. What? Arkansas online graduate degree. Oh nice, we got a brunette's live chat room. Yep. Hope my stepsis is. There's Google search, you can guess what it is. It's actually the most basic Google search I've ever seen, but you can guess. This one is, I'm gonna guess what it is. It's actually the most basic Google search I've ever seen, but you can guess. This one
It rhymes with
I'm going
corn.
to show selective words here. Babe and boyfriend. What? Oh my gosh, dude, this man, this guy, this girl, I don't know who owned this PS3, but holy...
Like, the virus box memory serves, isn't that like a really good project where people are like archiving old malware? This is just like some bullshit. This is just some dudes. This is just like, okay, sometimes Asmon's good for the like guy on the street take, or, you know, fucking Turkey Tom is good for the guy on the street take. I feel like this PlayStation is also good for the guy on the street take.
Holy crap, you need some help. This says, Sam's vibe is...
I feel like, as a prudish person, I feel like this person's being a fellow prude. I feel like this person and I both probably went to Catholic school and are prudish. Like, I might be wrong here, but I'm taking away from just society today that this person and I are a bunch of fucking sissy-ass prudes.
Earlier you got a hot dog, and yeah, and it's a racist hot dog. I don't know how else to say this. Yep, that was that. Searched multiple times. He's also trying to fix his Honda. He's got a leak, I guess.
Based.
Free babysitter.
Gotta fix that Honda.
Blank.
I was a free babysitter for my bestie for a little bit, but that's because she's my bestie and I'd do anything for her.
Brazilian. Blank. Yeah, that's okay.
Brazilian butt munch.
That's enough of that. Let's go ahead and check out what else we got. We got his email address. Nice. We'll put that out. Then the message box here, I'm a little scared to see, but let's go ahead and look. He's got some sent messages here like hi. Honestly, most of the stuff is just either friend requests or just random normal messages. Okay, let's see what.
I mean, if you're gonna if you need your racist hot dog thing to go down, you know, in the downtown, may as well fix your Honda so you can pick her up first. I don't know.
Steve says, I'm an amazing woman. Huh? Sounds like a bot. Yeah, most of the stuff
sounds like a random dude out of Bangladesh.
That's pretty normal. Okay, let's go back and let's go ahead and try out this GTA.
This is from 2013, so I'm giving historical commentary.
5 and see if it's a full game and if it actually works. All right, about 10 minutes later, this game is finally booted up, and honestly, I haven't played this in so long, I don't even remember where the front door is.
For me, that was like the rock bottom. Eventually, I reversed that promise to try out an item because it seemed like there was such a popular request for it, only for that not really to do anything. It seemed like the interest in that was far overblown, so I feel like I walked back on that for nothing really, but anyway.
Hey guys, so this is probably a weird topic to address at this point in time. It is rumored on the H3 Productions Reddit that because she took off the hashtag H3 podcast, that she may not be employed anymore by Ethan Klein as a moderator. So I'm just going to read you as much as information from her point of view as possible. Update 1/8/2025 4:12 PST. I've disabled donations on the GoFundMe because of y'all's donations and my landlord being an angel. I get to keep my place and he is going to help me get extra income even though we did not hit the goal. I am beyond grateful to everyone involved. As soon as he walked out, my knees started.
I mean, I guess if you know you have to go and take care of yourself, it is the right thing to, more than guess, if you have to take care of yourself, it is the right thing to do. So, I mean, you know, hats off, doing the hard work. Make sure you come home later. That's kind of the goal. As long as you keep living and breathing, whatever the fuck you've got to do, as long as it's not fucking over anyone else, I mean, go ham.
Shaking and I fell down happy crying. I am keeping this up though, because there are some people on other apps being booties. I have a GoFundMe to help me keep my apartment for the next few months, my first ever place where I am and feel safe while I find a second job to further support myself and my animals.
Every place I have felt safe in has been broken into. That's all.
I'll try to make a better video very soon. I just need to move pretty fast, and I'm panicking, of course, right now. Anyone I need to, who I need to shower. I feel so disgusting.
Sorry, I'm just having like shitty thoughts. Like, cosplay made of lace costs not the cheapest, bro.
Thank you.
And the horn's not necessarily the cheapest, bro. Even if you're 3D printing them.
all SM. So it looks like her landlord is helping her, maybe reducing the rent if she is a community manager. I know a lot of apartments, they do need people who are community managers. Hi y'all, I don't have the heart to go through comments right now, so this was posted below the previous post, so it's interesting. This explains why she started to GoFundMe in the first place, because Ben, which was her ex-boyfriend, is a good egg. He and his...
I'm legitimately trying to remember the name of a game, and I'm like spacing. It's kind of a Soulsy game. Fuck, am I bad at remembering shit right now. It's a fucking Souls game, but I'm forgetting its name. Is it The Verge 2? No. I don't remember its name. Y'all, I'm brain farting. My ears are with Lust, but my eyes are at my Steam library.
Family aren't leaving me stranded by any means. From what they told me today, they're all good people, my now ex included. Ben has talked about helping me get an e-bike or a moped because I'm disabled and can't drive. His mom has offered to pay the deposit for the apartment because thanks to y'all, it's looking like I will be able to stay. So that is definitely a positive development there. Please keep up the donations. If so, this was 4 days ago, and the most recent update has been...
I want to show you all something, and I'm on the fence because I saw it and I started yelling. Oh my gosh, I might do it.
On the 8th. So this must have been on the 5th. Please keep up donations if you can comfortably, OFC, because I am well aware that I could make a very rushed move to somewhere very cheap, and that will likely be very dangerous, or be dangerous because classism perpetuates violence.
You know, if this person's trying to make money quickly, why don't they just hop on the bandwagon of making bullshit Stellar Blade 2 videos? It seems like there's a fuckload of those right now, and they don't fucking stop. I'm not even being a shithead. Like, quite legitimately, if you're in a pinch and you want more money, and you're okay with being a piece of shit, I mean, not saying that there's any reason to believe they're okay with being a piece of shit, but if you're okay with being a piece of shit and you need money, seems like making Stellar Blade movies or Stellar Blade 2 videos, not about like, it's just the really speculative shit, right? It seems like those will basically be like a free money printer.
And my credit score is bad, and from going in debt to get away from my abusive ex-husband. So there's a lot of going on here. I wanted to read you from her own words before giving my opinions on this situation. So I made the video 2 days ago, which would have been the 7th. Yep, the 7th or the 6th.
That he did.
And she did respond. My job offer is still open. If she enjoys doing Pokemon, I have the budget. I have the money to go ahead and hire another part-time employee. This was... Of course, at the time, my idea was, okay, she has a part-time job as a moderator of H3, and it looks like she was doing a good job there. And she has her own social media, so I'm pretty confident she could be a social media specialist. That is actually a job title that I would have her do. Now, she never contacted me because, according to Reddit and according to her own story, she is in a mental hospital now. But anyway,
and again, if you got to take care of yourself, always take care of yourself. Like, y'all got to come first. So, I mean, you know, respect for going. Like, it sucks when you only get grippy socks in exchange for having to fucking, like, give up your cell phone and shit. Everyone knows and can expect that sucks dick. But it's important to go if you gotta go, and I can respect it.
I want to share her story.
What the fuck game am I looking for? I'm like looking through videos I watched earlier today. Like, was it in this video? Like, what the fucking holy shit. It's a Soulsy game. And I thought it had the number 2 in it. Oh my gosh. It was in this one. I know. I didn't even get that far in this video. Oh my gosh. It's sitting in my fucking Steam library and I'm forgetting. Ugh. So mad.
Story with you because I think it's relevant to help her. Okay, so obviously I did not...
I mean, this one came up, but this is not something I have. It's something I want. So that's irrelevant. Okay, this is irrelevant, but that comes later.
Not cut this correctly. So I'm just going to read it.
This is also irrelevant, but we don't talk about that.
my editing skills, again, maybe that's something they can help me with. That I definitely need a shit ton of help. Like, there's no doubt in anyone's mind, including mine, that I do need help on this channel and others. Okay, I realized that, no, I screenshot it incorrectly. It wasn't a crop issue. Okay, so, hey y'all, thanks for the job offer. I will reach out privately. So at this point in time, she has a lot going on, so I'm not expecting her to reach out until things get better. I type a lot, so I think I keep burying this, but I stated from the beginning and have repeated many times that I'm actively applying to more jobs. That's great. And I've since the morning.
If she doesn't take it, can I apply for Les's? Like, does he have a role I want to take? I do part-time with Les. Hell yeah. I do computer stuff. I make the servers go whizzle wazzle. And if you ask really nicely, I'll make microservices for you. What of them bitches do you ask? Well, my dears, thank you for asking. In this case, we have a cute little PXE spinning itself up. We can do provisioning of new machines on a network, and we can have centralized management of stuff. And if you're really, 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 really sweet to me, and you promise not to beat me in my sleep, then I'll write salt stack shit for you. I promise. I'm a hard-working gal with a smile on my face and a shit-eating grin.
After he broke up with me, I pushed carts for 3 years.
And Terraform, I'll manage your whole infrastructure. I don't even give a fuck. I'm a bad bitch some days. Lus, I like card games. I like Magic the Gathering the most. Lus. I like Magic the Gathering.
Food for less while going to college full-time because I got my job working for
Can do. I'll be breaking it out into templates soon. I'm just working on it for like my home, so I need to like prune out some nonsense, but legitimately templating it out and making it a public repo is the next thing I'm doing. I got you.
And have the last few days applied to a bunch of similar jobs local to me as well as remote stuff. I mean, fantastic. This is exactly what you need to do. I didn't stop going to college because I got my part-time.
A lot of us ASD folks just happen to have, like, you have autism, and a symptom of it might be anxiety. So you treat the anxiety. But what's really happening is your brain develops too many neurons and synapses. It never prunes these bitches. The world might treat you like shit because you don't fit in with its expectations. And you might be anxious about shit, but
modding job, nor did I stop because of going to work because of it. I was failing all my classes because I was having constant panic attacks. Same with work. I had to quit because I had to get to the point where I was passing out at work from stress. I'm autistic with CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm told I'm one of the better adapted. I'm told I'm remarkably well adapted for a fucking autistic person that's gone through the trauma I've gone through. Head pat. I don't know why I'm head patting myself for that, but like, fuck it. I'm taking it. And feels in bad faith. Feels like a bad character thing to do right now, honestly, but I'm gonna keep head patting myself for that one because I feel pretty cool right now.
GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, and at that time wasn't on Prozac like I am now. It was tough times. On top of that, my ex-husband was financially abusive, as were my parents who helped me get away from him, all of who I have since cut off entirely. I struggled some more with mental health for a while, and then things started getting a lot better when I got on Prozac and met Ben. I effed up by leaning too hard on him. F's though, don't get me wrong. I think I was just very desperate and hopeful that the happy dreams were coming true. I was encouraged to not get a second job and continue focusing on building my platform. I think she has a good platform. I looked at her on Instagram. She has grown her Instagram, and that's great. Things with my niece intensifies, and she tried to take her. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk about that on YouTube, but it's something bad. And I heard about it from family who are good people trying to help my niece too. Before then, I was handling all privately as I had been for the last 8 to 9 years. But once I heard the news of her attempt, I knew I needed to do something. And while I leaned a lot on Ben, I was uncomfortable asking him and his family to cover attorney, PI, and rehabilitation fees. I kind of hoped they'd be down to help because he was very aware of what was happening the entire time, but I never had bad thoughts towards him for not doing more. Already, I had been provided with the most beautiful little apartment that we did have equity rent split in a safe little area. I'm talking safe
Maybe I shouldn't give myself cozy music every time we're like reacting to something absolutely heartbreaking. Wrong thing to click on.
Neighborhood, Bakersfield, as a Redditor suggested, is not safe. Laugh my ass off, I have lived there. It's Confederate flag blank toting city.
I can like happily live next to someone with a fucking don't tread on me and another person with a fucking pride flag, and I see no problem with anyone. Like, bro, it's just a person with a flag. If they're just toting a flag, I mean, that's kind of better than them being all cagey and in the fucking box about it.
I'm autistic, visibly queer, and already a victim of abuse who now...
By the way, I didn't know about their channel till today, and they covered this game that I just have to play. You play as a psionic person, and so now I'm like staring at this game, and I really, really, really want to play it. It looks fun. Like, it's our kind of game. It's like, bro, if it's like... So I want to play this.
Living on my own for the first time. It can be very scary, of course.
Yes. I haven't played Parasite Eve, but I found out about it today, and this game looks so fucking dope. I can't wait to rip it open. Legitimately, I might be doing this. Ooh. Fuck yes, thank you.
Meaning odds I get hurt again are so high because I am admittedly vulnerable right now, and it sucks. The area I am in now is surrounded by other autistic or other disabled women, LGBTQI.
If I need to hang out with other autistic women, I just kind of go to like Reddit. That's like the one time I go there, and I just like talk to other autistic women on Reddit. And the moment one of us gets down, the rest of us bring us up. The moment one of us starts to get self-defeatist, the rest of us bring them up. It's like really dope. I mean, like we do community shit really well. We're pretty good at that. I'd say we're really dope at it, honestly. It's like we're the hardest working, just be okay, it'll be okay bitches out there. Real fun, real fun. No real connection between the two of us in any real interaction. Just always out there trying to drag the other one up. Always.
IA plus. Persons of color, crime rates are super low. It's very pet friendly, so not... Yeah, I just want to make sure that I do her justice by reading as much as from her own voice before commenting. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, jeez. I probably do need somebody to help me with this edit stuff. Okay, so here, do not...
Don't we all, brother? Don't we all? Yeah, I just live stream, and I was like, I live by Turkey Tom's sling on that, right? Like, if you're streaming every day, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to make like a clip out of one segment a day, and I still just don't do it. So I at least respect that I'm like not helping myself in that avenue. But here's the thing, I literally couldn't care less.
Not only so, okay, because I have some sense of community here, because I have been here the last year. And so many of the people in my area are like me. It's so hard to meet anyone, let alone get close to anyone when you're autistic. I can't drive, but there's tons of...
I found out which game I was looking for and kept forgetting.
Here, but it is a gimmick.
It's the Surge 2. That's the one I kept forgetting the name of. That's the one I was considering like ripping out tonight.
But it's not so like thick and sludgy like Lords of the Fallen was at parts. It just makes it a more fun game, and they made the limb
Okay, I'll make sure y'all have links to these, since apparently I've been like referencing other people's games for good measure and to be a wise and reasonable person. So I'll make sure that you have those, and we'll go back to less being less, because less is really cool. And I'm a distractible bitch that needs to be kicked in the mouth more often or something. Can YouTube come down on me for like telling people that I should be kicked in the mouth? Like, I never say anyone else should be kicked in the mouth, but I say I should be kicked in the mouth a lot.
A place
Don't tell them I say it a lot.
to walk by to where I'm applying for jobs. Again, this fantastic. That's what she should be doing. Or even just places I can go to and not have legitimate fear of being hurt because I'm alone. I don't want to be stuck in my home all the time. I've been there in my mid-late teens where I've been locked inside for sometimes months at a time, and it's awful. Similar happened when I was with my ex, but I only went to work and school. It was something though. I also want to make sure my niece has a safe place to come to when I get her. I have to re-sign my lease this week or move, and with it being so sudden,
wrong thing, sorry.
my credit.
I understand that. Like, I make sure my house has always got space for folks I consider like family, so I entirely vibe with that. They're like doing the right thing, right? Like, you build your base, you make sure you're okay and can breathe, and then you do your very best to bring up others that you love. So nothing shy of respect for that. And yeah, they do have a fuckload going on, unless it's being really respectful and actually giving them like the chance to be heard for the words that they say. And that's really, really appropriate and important, and shout out to Les. Again, lovely motherfucker, who maybe if we're lucky will let me go do computer stuff. Let me go do computer stuff. I'm a very simple gal, but Les seems to work hard, be an appropriate adult, and I don't know. Seems like a good dude. Seems like a good fucking dude.
Credit score being so low from the financial abuse.
He cusses less than I do. So if you ever, like, if you're one of the people that occasionally goes to the comments to tell me that I cuss too much and that I vehemently disagree with, but still respect, you'll probably like Les more. He's a nice dude.
In late teens, early 20s, it is most likely I would only be able to find a situation where I'm living with multiple people, which complicates things in regards to Francis's safety when she is free. That I assume is the name of the niece. Or I move back to the projects, which is also a major safety concern, and the price difference between them and like the place I'm at now are not even as crazy of a gap as it used to be. Because I'm already been here though and been approved with someone else, I'm good to stay here as long as I can prove I have funds, meaning I need to show that I can pay the next many months rent in a week. Also, the Nintendo and Pokemon
Ethan Bradberry. I'm sorry.
Emerald, I got him for a Christmas present. He had a whole story of having them as a kid, of them getting stolen, and he's missed them since he never goes to buy himself because it is blanking expensive. Yeah, it is. So I looked around for a long time, about 2 years, and I saved money because I'm thinking, well, it's Christmas time and we are solid. I want to do this rare, expensive gift for him since I'm able to do so. So I bought so. I get the suspicion with the GoFundMes. The first one my aunt made for the funeral for my name, and I shared because I had little to contribute and had already not had a funeral for.
In a world full of violent black thugs, innocent white people are being victimized and attacked. That's right, because if you try to steal their money, you will be attacked by these violent criminals.
Stop! The brakes! Stop!
This poor white man innocently helping himself to gasoline. It's just a prank, bro.
It's a prank! It's a prank!
Fun of the poor black people.
I'm in.
This is not the one I was looking for. Hold on. I was trying to find this. This.
In a world full.
Motherfucker. I mean, it's the same thing, but like, no, this. There we go.
Looking like Gollum coming out of his cave after the ring.
Why are they all so creepy?
Why do you say a safety crew and then show this kid?
Yeah, it sounds like they gave him something.
Waking up. What? Look at him! He looks so disturbed. It looks like
It's
he's
so scary.
Dude, if I
Why does it feel like they just killed someone? Can we watch it again?
What is he trying to express with his face right now? Is he
my
trying to
God.
save my kids or fucking murder, rape them?
And I shared because I had little to
The scary part is we'll never know.
contribute and had already not had a funeral for my mom when I was young because no money to do so. I knew there was at least hope.
Y'all, has anybody looked through like court records to see if, you know, the Bradberries have like gone through?
Of help that way. The second, the one for my niece, is explained in full detail on my page, including receipts as best as I can give them where money is. The most recent one was caused. I post about possibly. Okay. Where to go? Okay. Starting an OnlyFans. So I definitely would stay away from that. You know, like again, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I would imagine that I owned a marketing agency, and right, you do have certain skills that can be used remotely for a social media manager. I think that's the job title that you should be looking on Indeed.com. It pays base salary anywhere between $35,000 to $40,000 full-time a year, and it can really go up. It can go up to 60, 70, 80, 90,000. Depending on the years of experience you have. So when I mean base, I mean like entry level, no experience, straight out of college or straight out of high school. So I'm sure that with your experience, you can probably apply for maybe higher level jobs. Okay, so let me continue to read.
See, that's like the thing with a lot of my fellow ASD cohorts, and a thing that a friend of mine has had to explicitly handhold me through is like asking what the budget is for a role from a company, and then seeing that you don't just get handed the bottom of the barrel. Like I've, just for what it's worth, I've had to have a friend literally handhold me through this, because apparently if left to my own devices, I'm just like, well, I just want to help people. So I mean, as long as I can help people, I'll take peanuts. So my friend refuses to let me do this. And if ever I'm applying for somewhere, I'm instructed to call her and get the pep talk, which is basically, she'll say it a little bit nicer, but it's kind of like, hey, dumbass, you need to stop just letting people fuck you. It's gonna drive down other workers, you fucking shithead. Actually ask for your worth, you fucking troglodyte. And she'll say it really much more kindly than that, but yeah, no, but it is a thing that afflicts my cohorts and I a lot. Fix that camera.
The most recent one was because I posted about possibly starting OnlyFans, since I got some wild offers before. I know there's huge risk and hate for it. I would be able to make more than enough money on my own to end the GoFundMes, get out of this expensive apartment and into a safe little trailer home I buy with my own money, and financially support myself.
I wanted to get a, like, oh my gosh, my ex and I were talking about moving somewhere, and like, you know, I mentioned trailer and she was so fucking mad.
And my niece. A lot of people sent me messages asking me not to and instead make a GoFundMe, so I did. Anywho, if there's any more questions, feel free to ask them below and I'll answer them. I think most of this, if not all, I've already explained, and it's still up and available on my Instagram. So I did look at her Instagram. Previous to making the video, I did not.
Lest I'd be an amazing part-time hire, I swear I can focus.
I looked at Reddit. I think I did not look at the Instagram as much as I
shit prick, shit dick. I see the correlation there.
Have recently.
I understand. I'm scooping what you're pooping.
I'll put it that way. I really recommend you all go to my page and checking things out if you're wanting to know about what's going on, because I'm a yapper and I'm very transparent. Anytime I peep these Reddit threads about me that are being cited, which is rare because Reddit is just mean, to be honest. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Reddit is kind of mean. It's not good for my brain to be reading all that. They have so much incorrect or missing information, like I said.
Honestly, wise ass take. Like, no bullshit. Yes, I think you should be able to like engage with people saying they don't like your shit, but like honestly, them bowing out of Reddit in particular as opposed to like everything else, I can have a little bit more respect for that than someone just refusing to engage with anything people say period outright. And heck, they even went to Les's video and left a comment, and Les is like being both fair and critical, so at least they don't seem like a fucking shithead.
It's all on my Insta, and that being said, there's been changes like how in the GoFundMe for my niece, I said I had a very stable home already. That's because my dude was telling me we're going to get married and buy a house. We had baby names picked out, laughed my ass off. I thought we were solid, which is silly, I suppose. Again, thank you for the job offer. I will be in touch. So I do hope, even if my job offer isn't what she's looking for, you know, that she does get.
It's still some help in the meantime while you look for something a bit more stable for you and your needs. So honestly, I hope I wish the best to them. Like, they're holding a lot of shit right now. It's not an easy world on anyone, and they're holding a fuckload of it. They're trying to look out for family. Respect.
In touch. I do hope this video gets to her, that I think you do have certain skills, having moderated a very large podcast before. It looks like from your Instagram that you can make videos on Instagram, which is great. You can make posts on Instagram. This is all stuff that people hire for in marketing agencies, and I would know because I owned a marketing agency, which I showed off and then retired. There is a point in time, so I have to wait a little bit, and then I can start my new market. So it's one of these like contracts you have to sign where you cannot compete directly. You cannot create a new marketing agency within 2 years, and you cannot compete directly with the old marketing agency for 5 years. So as someone who's owned a marketing agency, I do think you have a set of skills that in the current marketplace would get you a remote job. These remote jobs are often much more convenient outside of like 1 or 2 meetings I have with my. So I had a social media specialist who's living in New York. I never met her. She was great. And outside of a Wednesday meeting that was half an hour, that was a team meeting, and a Friday meeting, which was an individual meeting, she just did her job. She sent me calendars of what was social media. I'd be happy to show you because I still have all that stuff saved on my email, which I ported over, and I can show you like what the job entails, like how would you present yourself, how you would get a full-time job doing something like that, because I did hire for that position. It is a tough situation, and I wanted to give her a voice, and I thought that was important. But then I also felt like I could give some suggestions, because a lot of people in the comments, they do want to, you know, work with me on that stuff. And, you know, I'm going to hold the job open for Ray until she is in a position to decide to do it or not, or even hear what the job entails. Before opening it to other people. But yeah, I absolutely need help. I think that if I had a tiny bit of help with the editing, and this stuff is not good. I realize, you know, hey, at this point, this is 17 minutes long. I'm just going to copy and paste the same images again. That's the level of editing I can do. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and give her love, give her support, give, you know, her family love and support. That's free. That doesn't cost any money. Anyway, bye guys.
And by the way, little tangent, Les's operation for like card folks, legitimately, like, yo, I scrolled down to it for a bit, but like, you know, refusing loans, not laying off people, just doing what you can for folks that are interested in the hobby and that give you their time is like absolutely adorable as shit. The Siberian standing lady trend is apparently terrifying though, so we're gonna play some fork knife. If my GPU doesn't try to shred itself again tonight, I don't know why it was the other night, but I'm curious and I want to know. So we're gonna find out.
Legends say if you see her
By the way, did I timestamp this? Nope, I'm a dumb bitch. Hold on. Hold up, wait a minute. There we go, right? Nope, I did not do it. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba.
Dancing shadow at night, you might bring death or misfortune upon yourself. This video went viral and even became a creepy trend that
I don't even need to float it. I forgot. I can literally just not float. Where the fuck's Fortnite? Oh, there it is.
I have taken part of.
I respect my neighbors enough, and I know they might draw a gun if I do this, and I couldn't really blame them. So I'm just not gonna do that, because that will end about one of two ways. They rightfully are perturbed and pick up a firearm, or alternatively, they're a bunch of pussies. And I'm not sure if I want to find out that the neighbors that I plan to run to if someone ever breaks into my house are a bunch of pussies.
My video got over 35 million views. Does that make me part of the legend too? Guys, that'd be crazy. In this video, we're going to be deep diving into the terrifying story behind the Serbian dancing lady. Not to necessarily prove that she's real, but to understand what this legend has become and what it really warns us about. And aside from this trend, it's actually a really creepy story with a lot of lore to it. If you saw a figure dancing alone down a dark street, would you walk towards it or?
Yes. Yes, I would. Because I make terrible life choices and don't have an appropriate response to fear, and think that it would be funny. And I am a memer, and if you're just dancing down a street, I'm not gonna be as afraid as if you're, like, you know, being maniacal or something. Like, if you're, like, skulking in the corners trying to be coy, I'm not. But if you're dancing in the alleyways, I'm probably gonna run to you and say, hello, how are you doing today? Because I'm cool as fuck like that.
Would you run the other way? I'd probably walk closer, but that's just me. Kelcats, welcome back to my channel, and if you guys are new here, my name is Kelsey Davies, and I'm a clairvoyant, meaning I see and speak to the dead. And behind me are my many haunted...
Did I find another cult channel? Fuck it.
dolls who you may be hearing from throughout this video. We're all a little haunted here. Welcome home. I hope you're ready for this.
Am I gonna want to detox myself with... Okay, actually, no. Let's think of it this way. What would Lindsay and Dan Cummins say? They'd probably say, the world's too big to rule it out, so just listen. Okay. Well, we're doing this one for Scared to Death and Time Suck. Fuck it. Suspend disbelief, my dudes. Let's fucking go.
Serbian dancing lady. According to the stories, a woman appears at night in parts of Serbia, often in old neighborhoods near abandoned streets or hospital zones. This legend apparently goes back to the late 90s or earlier, but the version that went viral started around 2019 when videos and horror warning posts began circulating online, with one gaining 99 million views. So imagine a dark street, a silhouette. At first you think it's someone dancing, until you realize this was never meant to be a dance. Maybe it's a warning. Ew. Ew, why is the are they filming on a potato? First off, like, what is this camera quality? Why are all these horror, creepy videos always on, like, a freaking iPhone, or Android, not an iPhone? Guys, wait, there's literally...
Hey, Android people, I'm sorry. You know, I never take a fucking dunk on y'all. So, my deepest apologies that we've had to suspend disbelief for the clairvoyance. But I'm gonna need us to continue to suspend disbelief and expect that maybe, just maybe, the Android homies get to be, like, dunked on today. It's not my choice, not my call. I wouldn't have done it, but they're doing it. So we're just gonna, like, you know, we're gonna listen to my betters today.
No face. Stop. It looks like there's no face. Ew. Yeah, that would freak me out. This one looks real. Like how would someone just think of doing that? You know what I mean? And make it like a horror skit. I'm pretty sure this is the first one ever. This is the first one that I ever saw. So when we talk about portals, energy, and the unseen, it's easy to forget that the most important portal that we navigate...
It's not like I wanted to do it. I have to. If I suspend disbelief for the clairvoyance, I have to suspend it for the Android hate. I'm sorry, but it's like, I was raised right. I don't know how that plays into this, but it does. Oh, oh, that part? Yeah, me too, bud. Honestly, me too. But we're here, so We'll live.
Is our own mind. The start of a new year brings a lot of pressure, especially after the emotional weight of the holidays. There's this expectation to suddenly reinvent yourself even when what you may need is to slow down and process. And that's why I want to thank Growth Therapy for sponsoring today's video. Growth Therapy believes that real growth doesn't come from forcing change. It starts with one honest conversation. They make mental health care easier to access by letting you choose your own therapist with detailed bios and specialties up front. And there are no subscriptions or long-term commitments, so you only pay per session. Grow works with over 100 insurance plans, and for many people, sessions average around $21 with insurance depending on your plan. You can even book appointments sometimes within a couple of days, including nights and weekends. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or carrying things that you don't fully understand yet, therapy can be a powerful way to ground yourself. Scan the QR code on screen or go to growtherapy.co/Kelsey Davies to get started with therapy that best fits you. Just like all of it put together.
I mean, in good news, a lot of the people that want us to suspend disbelief for woo-woo shit, at least they do try to get people into therapy. I mean, that's kind of a W. Also, there's grant-funded healthcare that allows you to go to certified clinicians in your area, which is also a thing that I should be screaming at the top of my lungs right now. Embrace to snap ghost pics with your Android 15? I mean, meh. Loch Ness Monster got a lot more credit off a lot less, so could be worse. I don't know, fuck it. If someone's gonna rag on you for your phone quality, just lie and say it's an iPhone. They're not gonna check metadata, they're just gonna be too busy ragging on it. So then you'll get them in a gotcha. Just be like, nah bro, it's an iPhone. It's an iPod from back in the day, bro. And then they won't know what the fuck to do. They'll just sit there, confused, slack-jawed, and in a state of not even disbelief, because they are the ones that asked us to suspend disbelief. So it's basically like a cheat code. I think, maybe. It's basically a cheat code. I think it's basically a cheat code. Maybe it's not, but I think it is. And I've already suspended disbelief enough that I can suspend disbelief into this one and presume it's a cheat code.
The traditional Serbian dress, the weird dance. Honestly, I've seen a lot of creepy shit in my life, but if I saw this, I would literally poop my pants. And the scariest part is, some people who have claimed to see her say that if she sees you watching her, she won't just stop. No, she won't just stop dancing. She will charge at you. She's been said to yell, scream, and even chase people with a knife. If this was a real person, someone disturbed enough to wander around in the middle of the night, start dancing, and threaten people? No, we're not.
I'd scream based, honestly. It's kind of funny. I mean, I wouldn't do it myself, and I wouldn't encourage anyone to do it. But if I happened to witness it, I would scream based. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Be a liar? I'd rather not be a liar. My pants aren't on fire. And even if they were, I'd lie about it and say they weren't. Because that's what liars do.
Doing that. It's 2025. Let's just stop.
Others are scared.
Others are scared, yes! Let's just stop scaring people, how about that? And even if she wasn't a real person, even if this was just a recreation or a trend or skits, whatever it is, recognize it worked at spreading fear. And guys, we literally create our reality. I don't think you realize how powerful our minds are. Everything is energy, and everyone and everything is connecting, including you and I. And these videos could very well manifest the true Serbian dancing lady, keeping her legend frightening and alive. And you know what? This actually reminds me of something really, really disturbing. Have you ever heard of the dancing plague of 1518? This actually happened, and there's still no explanation as to why. Okay, now stay with me on this, I'm getting somewhere. The outbreak began in July of 1518 when a woman known as Frau Tofia and her daughter Fraulein began to dance uncontrollably in a street in modern-day France. Some of those who had witnessed her strange performance began to mimic her, and within 30 days, more than 30 people were dancing uncontrollably, no celebration, no music, some so crazily that only death would have the power to intervene. By August, the dancing plague had over 400 victims. Dancers were beginning to collapse, and it's said that some even died from stroke or heart attack. Their movements were described as spasmodic with many convulsions. Their arms would thrash violently, and some even noted that their eyes looked vacant and expressionless, almost as if they were possessed. And there's still no explanation as to why this happened. But what stands out isn't the lack of explanation, it's the loss of bodily control. Now fast forward this story centuries later. I don't know. They're very similar. I mean, there's no music. Her movements are described as unnatural, almost mechanical. And according to the legend, those who see her often experience illness, misfortune, and even death.
Coincidence? I think not.
Almost as if the dancing plague never disappeared and it just evolved. Could the two be connected in some way? I'm not sure. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Ew, I've seen this one. It almost looks like she has like a shower cap on.
Did this gal just get the ick from a ghost? Bro, that's kind of funny.
And this one's a little more disturbing than the other one in my opinion. Ew, and it's so short, like that's it. And you just watch it over and over because it's so freaking creepy. Like, where is that? Why is there so much trash on the floor in front of her? Is it trash day the next day? I don't know. Why is there like caution tape? Like, is that caution tape? Is she on a crime scene? What? There's so many scenarios here. And then they said that she's never facing her shadow. Also, that's what some of the lore is. And they don't really know why. Like, what happens if she faces her shadow? I want to know all these things. Can we find the answers? I don't know. Ooh, part 2. Ew. Ew, why is she walking like that? Okay. She has a shower cap on. Is it the same lady? Wait. Oh my god.
Gotta get that first landing.
And she's not facing her shadow again. Or is she? Oh wait, she is. What is that? Oh no! No! Wait, was she swinging an iPhone charger? I swear that's what it looked like. That has to be. Or a yo-yo. No, that's definitely
first
like a charger.
Too.
Why is she swinging that? This is like the modern day Serbian dancing lady. She just needs to charge her iPhone, everyone. That's all this was about. Like, we're fine. Ew. Okay, they also filmed this one on a potato because why not?
In the face. Oopsies.
Does she have a shower cap on too? Oh. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. But, you know, A for effort. That was pretty good. Again, it's like some of these videos, yes, it's probably a skit, but what if it's not? Like, what if this is actually a thing? That's the scary part of it, is like, you don't know. Maybe some people saw this video and it was like a real thing and then everyone just started reenacting it.
I mean, I'm probably going to reenact the Siberian dancing lady video too, so at this point, I've just expected it all to be people memeing. I'm just not gonna do it in my yard, in my front yard. I'm gonna go to the backyard to do it, so just in case the neighbors get a little bit horrified, they don't try to murder me with a gun. Because I would understand, honestly, if I thought I saw a ghost and I was a little bit upsetty spaghetti and had like the little QQ cry scaredy scareds. I'd also probably be like, neighbor, bring your gun outside. I'm scared.
I don't know. Let me know. Comment below. Let me know. Some theories say that the original dancing lady could have been some woman dealing with a mental illness or even social neglect. Just wandering around a local hospital in 2019, alone, lost in her own world. She got the nickname Serbian Dancing Lady because she was dancing in a similar way and beat as the Serbian dance called kolo. Some of the earliest tellings say that seeing her shadow is a bad omen. And I just found out that the reason why she doesn't face it is because people believe it's a demon that controls her. I mean, stories of women who have wandered alone at night, ghosts, lost souls, and witches have existed across Slavic and global folklore for centuries. What's so uncanny about these videos,
Slavic folklore #1,
is your mind tries to fill in the blanks. Speaking of scary ghosts and things, guys, if you want to draw out the spooky things that you see, I have sketchbooks that are available. We also have notebooks. Manifestations are amazing when you write them down and then you go look back and you see all the things that you manifested for the new year. Go get yours right now at kelseydavies.com. It's also linked down below in the YouTube shop section. See, for this one, I'm like, why are you guys recording in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, they weren't doing anything. If they were like doing something silly, but they were just, unless they had seen her before and then started recording, then maybe. That was a good one. I mean, she like turned briefly and then it ends, so it's like, what happened? What happened? I don't think this one's like real. I don't know. What do you guys think? Ew, 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 ew. No, she doesn't have a face. No, that one was good. Definitely a skip, but it was good. That would kill me. I'd be dead. No, the way she turns her head. Ew. Bro, she has like an ugly Christmas sweater on too, like on top of it. She just needed the...
I wouldn't go around calling her Christmas sweater ugly. There's a tiny chance that Nano got it for her. And the one thing more scary than a ghost, especially a Siberian dancing ghost, is someone who's upset that you just insulted their grandmother's handiwork. So I think that would actually evoke the most fear from me, is talking shit on somebody's, in quotes, ugly Christmas sweater. Like, maybe I'm a little bit basing this off of my own life experiences. I just wouldn't fucking do it. Like, quilts that look like grandmothers made them, not talking shit. Sweaters that look homemade, not talking shit. Like, I want to live. Excuse me, I want to live a long and prosperous life. So I'm just not gonna do that, like, ever. Can I move this in here?
Shower cap, I'm telling you. No, not 3 of them. Ah! Ooh, this one's good. A good skip. It's good. Oh, no, not the crawling. It is a really good like horror movie scenario thing. The shadow on the stairs and the crawling. Ugh, the crawling's what gets me. I can't. Not like 20. Wait, how many are there? What? Oh. 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 Is this all the same person? Oh, her posing at the end. I'm wondering if there's no way they got like however many people in sync on that.
Wait, if they got however many people in sync, but not an in sync reference? That's sad. There was a good boy band reference right there and no one took it. I'm ashamed. There's days where I am ashamed to be a Homo sapien, and this is one of them. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. We're doing a societal L every day we do not shout out NSYNC. Shout out to NSYNC, hope y'all are doing well.
I'm like, did they use the same person and like copy and paste her? What'd they do? This one's like one of my favorite. Ugh. Now I'm just appreciating the content creation. Still so many unanswered questions. Is the original woman really real? Has she passed away now but was actually a living person? Was she struggling mentally? And
what if she was a living person? What if the Siberian dancing lady was a living person, then passed away, and now is the dancing ghost? That is something that this person hasn't raised yet, and I would be genuinely willing to start crying.
Even financially, and that's what was caught on camera? Who was this woman outside of this viral internet fascination? Or was it just a really freaking good horror skit? You know what? I'm gonna ask my haunted dolls what they think. I heard Lola. Lola, do you think that the Serbian dancing lady really exists? I thought I heard leave it alone.
When my leg finally stops shaking, you know something's going on.
Do you know anything about the Serbian dancing lady? Yeah, I do. So is it like a real thing?
Okay, it stopped shaking because I was gonna kill someone in Fortnite, but now they're gone. So, I'm a hunting a dick shit.
What? Can you tell me why you think it's unsafe? Is it bad to talk about her? Is she like some sort of demon? Demon? Did that just say demon?
Got him.
Yes? Was this like something manifested like from fear? It said demon again. Demonic, stop it. Guys, do you think it's possible to summon an entity this way?
Is this gal playing Phasmophobia with a doll in her lap instead of a ghost bot? Respect. I genuinely respect this. This is kind of cool. I don't even know how to live like this anymore.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. Oh, I swear, if I just see a lady dancing in here, I'm gonna... We're done. I mean, it's also possible for entities to mimic something that scares someone. That happens very, very often. But since this became such a big trend, it's so hard to tell what's real and what isn't. Suddenly—
Oh, you don't play around with that spooky shit, homie? Well, in good news, we're suspending disbelief, so I guess we're stuck giving in to the spooky shit, huh? You don't have to, but it would be funny, because I've had to suspend disbelief that iPhones are better than, like, you know, Android phones. It wasn't my take, it was this person's take. I just have to suspend disbelief and go with it sometimes, you know? I was raised right. Wait, I can respawn because of Kenny now? Yo, that's fucking sick.
the Serbian lady was no longer just one person. She was an entity that spanned across the globe, truly terrifying a lot of people online. And I'm one of them. No, guys, I'm serious. If you type in Serbian dancing lady in the search bar on YouTube, I am the first short to pop up. Guys, it's me. I'm the Serbian lady. Holy plot twist. Wow. I'm the one you want. It's me. I'm the dancing lady. It's me. This is me. And this is me. And that's me. Oh, that's me. These are all me. It's me.
What character is that? Gwen Stefani? No, it's Kat Holloway.
And this one is actually me. That's kind of iconic,
Holloway,
honestly.
for the
Want me to
win.
dig deeper into other legends or become a part of more? Let me know. And just remember, we're all a little haunted here, so welcome home. I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, whatever plays next, I need to timestamp it. I've been waiting for Mr. Tactical Templar to make a video on the recent Moist Critical situation, and I've been like waiting too long for it, and that's not happened yet. So is this like the last thing in here? The Google search that killed CIA agents? Alright, hit me. We'll run it back one. I'm curious. Because I was waiting for him to be miffed about Mr. Moisty, and I'm just gonna be here for this. What the fuck happens here? Bro gets called a lolcow. Meanwhile, there's actual lolcows out there that do egregious things. Sometimes with their penises out. So as long as he keeps his dick in his pants, I'm considering it a societal W. And I'll complain less.
Brothers, we're going to be covering a video today from one of the
Ew, they don't even have shields.
lawyers on the internet that is legal.
Oh yeah, they do.
This guy has Trump
Fuck, I missed twice.
syndrome. He's consistently wrong.
Picked up.
His legal takes are a joke. And what could go wrong? He's going to be talking about the situation in Venezuela, or rather, one of his lackeys, one of his channel
Lol, racist hot dog? I don't think that see, the thing is, like, I think I'd eat a racist hot dog. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm presuming it's plant-based, so I'd eat it. It's okay. Everyone, the racists, the people that don't like racists, they can all clown on me for being a vegan. You can all just come together over a unifying trait of humankind. Shitting on the vegan bitch. That just wants the best for everybody. I'd do it. I'd definitely do it if I were you, so.
quote co-hosts are going to be covering it. And I don't have high hopes for this video. But I am somebody that will keep an open mind. If this guy makes good points, then I will say that he made good points. If he shits the bed, which is par for the course for a legal eagle, then I will call him out on that too. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this video is called Illegal Venezuela War. So already from the title of the video, Legal Eagle is shitting the bed. This was not a war. This was
Okay, I got distracted landing.
an
Where'd the hunt go?
extraction. This was an extraction for somebody that had a bounty on his head. By the way, this is not a, oh, Trump is so bad, oh my God, can you believe Trump did this? The Biden administration also condemned Maduro.
There they are. Got him.
So
we're gonna
this
get
guy
both of
is
these
a
dudes.
dictator. This
How
guy
close do I have to go for
is
this?
one of the
This'll
worst
work.
people in our hemisphere.
Oh fuck.
And he's actively out there making the lives of his people and the American people worse, killing people, not only with drugs, but with his absolutely reckless and irresponsible communist policies. And of course, you have the most privileged, nimbiest, affluent liberals, these far left lunatics.
Okay, when he says NIMBY, I hate to be a troglodytean fuck whore, but the fuck is a NIMBY? I for some reason I was autofilling with Nepo Baby, so I have no idea where this man's going right now. So about that fucking what about that like long foretold in quotes racist hot dog? And can I eat one of those, please? It's plant-based, right? Because I want that.
In America that are coming down on the side of the Venezuelan narco terrorist. Imagine that. Imagine you look at this situation and the first thought that comes into your brain is, man, can you believe how bad Trump is for getting this guy? And trying to delegitimize this incredible military operation by calling it illegal and calling it a war. It wasn't illegal and it wasn't a war, you fucking retard. This is so basic. This is so basic. This was an extraction. They went in, they captured a criminal, and then they left. Minimal casualties. I don't even mean on our side. We didn't take any casualties. On their side. We went in and had a lethal and precise strike. Delta Force doing what they do. And these weak, inferior men that have made hard times for the world are now going to come out here and try to lecture you on what is the appropriate course of action. It's an illegal war. It's not a war. Trump said it's not a war. Nobody said it's a war. Venezuela didn't declare war. We didn't declare war. It is an extraction of a dictator who was, by the way, not the president of Venezuela. He lost that election. Anyway.
That was a fun run. It was fun because I got to take a car around a small area and whip it around to hit people with it.
Like I said, I've heard bad things about this video, but I am open-minded. I am open-minded. So without further ado, let's actually give this a watch, ladies and gentlemen, and we will come to our own conclusion.
The space dorks and the FBI also dork.
But I count in binary. So number 2 isn't a fucking number I recognize. It's either number 1 or number fucking 0. So I got 0.
Early hours of January 3rd, the Trump administration staged an invasion of Venezuela, violating international and domestic law. The raid included sorties from more than 150 airframes, every branch of the military except the space dorks and the FBI, also dorks. A few hours later...
Did he call them space dorks? We're 15 seconds in, you call them space dorks? So that's what tells me that this is not a serious video. I'm 15 seconds in. And by the way, why are you showing a picture of Dr. Disrespect? How are you going to do Dr. Disrespect dirty like that? How are you going to do the 2-time like that? But, being serious, how are you going to come out and call Space Force dorks? Oh, guys, this is an abuse of power. The Trump administration are fascist. Like, imagine trying to frame this as a serious...
Pro tip, it's a lot more easy to make everyone listen to you if you don't call people a fascist, but you rather are grating and very nitpicky about everything you say, and are so fucking particular that you just call out every fucking little itty bit of existence, but still just don't have to say fascist. A little pro tip I've learned by living life on planet fuckballs Earth for a while is if you are just grading about everything someone does, bit by nitpicky bit, and you drag them for every fucking thing, bit by nitpicky bit, they kind of have to suck a dick, because if you call someone like evil, then they can easily just be like, I'm not evil, I donate money to the X and Y. But if you call someone a fascist, it's easy for them to try to discount that. But if you talk about every fucking facet of their existence that you find inappropriate and or reprehensible, and you just are the most grating and long-winded bitch about it, then there's very little they can do aside from engage every fucking thing you've said. Maybe it's not the hottest tip in the world, maybe this is something everyone knows, but it's definitely something that I'm going to keep doing. It's very efficacious and I like it. It's so efficacious, I'm going to name it Sally.
Yes, illegal war, and Trump is a fascist, he's a dictator, he's Hitler, and then you come out with a joke. Like, man, can you believe the Space Force are a bunch of dorks? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking communist. Oh my god.
Trump announced that Venezuela's dictator, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife had been captured. Tactically speaking, brilliant execution. 5 out of 5. Would employ Delta Force again. Also dorks. Strategically and...
Also dorks?
Delta Force again. Also dorks.
I mean, it does come out like it... I'm just gonna push play. My play button is broken. Oh, there we go.
And, well, legally speaking?
Yeah. Why does he keep calling Delta Force dorks?
Well, I think he's calling Delta Force dorks because you can refer to a penis as a dork, and that's funny. Maybe. I don't fucking know. I'm not him. I'm not his mother. I don't make food for him. If I'm screaming dorks a lot, I'm making penis jokes.
I mean, what the heck? What the actual... You guys, I was told this video was bad, and within 30 seconds, this guy has basically insulted the military twice. Oh, they did a good job. Oh, yeah, but they're dorks. What am I watching? What?
As a fucking nerd, I don't know why dorks has to be a fucking, like, slam. Also, this man went to law school, which is, like, quite nerdy, dorky, however you'll take it yourself. So I'm just gonna point out, it's like the cast iron calling the wok a cooking implement. It's very, what you say of others is often true of yourself. If you're gonna call somebody a dork, maybe don't go to school long enough for your degree to have a quinceañera. That's all I'm saying.
What am I watching? Like, this is a person that is trying to frame things.
I'm thinking about people that go to work in therapy. Their education can go have a quinceañera. Never mind. Howdy, law school people. How's it going?
In the way that this is an illegal operation, that we have killed innocent people illegally, we had no right to be there, we're breaking international law. The framing of this is exposed by the way that he's handling the video. And so I'm being told to check my kick. I will check it after the video. I will check it after the video, I promise. You know me. If there's something there, I will definitely check it.
Wait, will you really check it? Because I'm just saying, if I say I'm going to check something later, like, it depends. Like, I'm not saying that he and I would do the same kind of reprehensible action. But if I'm like, yeah, I'll check it in like 50 minutes, there's a teensy beeny chance that I'm just going to, like, you know, pretend I don't exist for a good hour and a half. You know, like, not that I'm a horrible person, but I'm a horrible person. Ah, shit, the cat's out of the bag.
But that being said, the way that this video is framed already pisses me off. Because you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't address a topic like this casually.
Down the gullet.
If you're framing it by the title as an illegal Venezuela war, as an illegal action on the part of the U.S., that we're doing something criminal, that Trump is a fascist dictator who's breaking all these laws, and then you also want to just throw in a bunch of punchlines. That's my point here.
I mean, you can like immediately be grating about something and then throw in a bunch of punchlines, but they have to be remarkably funny. Like, I think that's the thing that a lot of people might miss out on, is you can blend heavy critique with fucking brevity or levity, and brevity, honestly, but it benefits us and behooves all of us if you can actually have really good delivery on it. And calling people a bunch of dorks when you went to law school is actually kind of fucking silly. It detracts a lot from anything you're saying and makes you sound like a silly person. Now, mind you, I am a silly person giving this criticism, so it's like basically, once again, I'm a silly nerd person. So again, it is legitimately like the wok calling the cast iron a cooking implement. It's really not like, it's like, yeah, it's like kind of loser shit. But I'm the loser, so I can do it.
You can either turn it into like a joke, or you can turn it into something serious, but not both. And I don't know why you would try to set the mood in that way. It seems jarring. It's off. What it tells me, I'll just be honest. What it tells me is that you're not serious about this. That's the framing of this. You're not serious about this. You don't actually think it's illegal. You don't actually think it's a war. You just did this for clicks.
And again, like, if you have good delivery, you can get away with a joke that is similar in placement, where you're talking about like a very like serious and to you reprehensible thing, but where you also sandwich it with some bullshit. You just legitimately have to be funnier than apparently this video that got uploaded on the Legal Eagle channel at the start of it in the first fucking 5 seconds, where it was only, that's all we fucking got through, at least, seems like. So again, we've only heard like 5 seconds of this delivery, and we've been kind of like sidelined on it for 8, but whatever. Bug it.
You did this because you wanted to enrich yourself off of shitting on America and our troops and our soldiers and going after the President of the United States. That's what it seems like to me.
That's a different question. The United States invading an oil-rich country to topple a mad dictator is nothing new. But while this situation feels like Iraq 2 Maduro Boogaloo,
it does not. Nothing about this feels like Iraq or Afghanistan at all.
Oh my gosh, I want this thing they're flying from. I want lots of happy coral just spouting around. I have missed out on all the cool Fortnite shit. I am like such a fucking noob.
Any way, shape, matter, or form. First of all, it's in our hemisphere. Second of all, Iraq and Afghanistan were Muslim third world shithole countries. Let's be honest here. Venezuela was a democracy. So we're not bringing democracy to Venezuela. We are saving Venezuela from socialism and communism.
Thank you for the raid, homie. I think we've gotten about 5 minutes into the Legal Eagle video, and Tactical Templar has been on an 8-minute tirade about how a bad joke's a bad joke. And I still think that you can sandwich very important and impactful shit with some bullshit, but Homescale It over here is like, Tactical Templar is like, you can't be funny while you're talking about serious. And I'm like, yeah, you can be. You have to have not shit delivery. That's kind of it. Like, if your delivery's not ass, you can do it. His delivery's ass. Calling anyone a dork when you went to law school is like, I'm gonna try to find a better fucking idiom for this.
We are saving them from a dictator, and also, by the way, we're not doing it as some great liberation campaign. I mean, that is a side product. That is a benefit, and the Venezuelan people are ecstatic.
Yeah, if you go listen to reporting from folks that are like actually enduring it, if you listen to victims, there are people in Venezuela who are genuinely quite elated that this outcome is what found us. Just saying, I listen to victims. I'm the first to go grab a victim impact statement, because I was raised right and mama loved me.
And as happy as any people I've ever seen across the globe. But we are doing it because it benefits us. It makes our hemisphere safer. It makes the oil flow, baby. Flow, baby, flow. You know, drill, baby, drill. Flow, baby, flow. We're going to get more gas, which is going to decrease the price of everything. When energy prices go down.
When energy prices go down, speaking of, it would have been a real boon if the current administration put a boot up Congress's dick on one thing, and that would have been using nuclear fusion as opposed to fission energy. We were sitting on top of developing, producing, and even selling the most expensive fuel store known to anything that smells its own shit, and that would have been so dope. We kind of are just sitting on it still. It's not like it's not an option, but it's not being utilized. And nuclear fusion is sitting right there. Research in the open. Palo Alto Labs, shout the fuck out, did a lot of fucking work towards us all being able to reap the benefit of the most expensive export we could have dropped on the world. And that would have been fucking amazeballs.
It affects the price of everything. Everything goes down when you have energy prices decrease. And what happens when you have the excessive oil that's going to be coming out of Venezuela? We are going to be reaping the benefits.
And it's not even people having to, I know Mr. Musk said that, like, we don't need to invest in fusion. We already have the biggest fusion reaction in the world called the sun. And it's, or he said in the solar system. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get you. But also, people will pay out the wazoo for it. People will pay so much fucking money for it. If you want to fucking make a good energy export, we're producing nuclear fusion resource, nuclear fusion product at a faster rate than we could even use it ourselves. Not just can you diversify the grid a lot more and have a lot more fucking out boomp for your in boomp, you can also sell the fuck out of that and be rich as titties. Like, absolutely rich as titties. So, again, I'm over here saying, regardless of how much you wanted from it, regardless of how efficacious it is, it was one of the biggest speculative buys that would have trumped and trounced over what Disney did with real estate in Florida when they were purchasing shit up after the initial speculative buys. The fucking lack of fucking joy that was received from it, the secondary wave where people ended up getting ripped the fuck off, and then the third wave where Disney bought it the fuck up and decided to do it at a all fucking encompassing low price. So I'm just saying, it was free money printer, and we kind of lost it.
Of that. So this is a win for the United States. It's a win for Venezuela. It's a win for our hemisphere. It takes drugs off the street. I mean,
France is also kicking ass at nuclear fusion as well, and they're not the only folks doing it. Pretty sure last I checked, the People's Republic might be also trying to put time and effort into this. And the reason I bring that up is I may think that partisanship and partisan people are a fucking wash, and that, well, the people are fine. Partisanship is a fucking wash. Well, anyways, so I may think it's a fucking wash, and I may think it's an L for society, but at the very least, I can speak across the aisle that I don't even participate in. Woo woo! Let's go!
The number of positives is innumerable. I could be sitting here for the next 2 hours documenting, highlighting, and articulating all the positives out of this. But what do these people do? What do these selfish people do? People like Legal Eagle, people on the far left, they want to turn this into a negative for clicks, and they want to try to, basically, let's just be honest here, they want to extract resources from dumb left-wing activists. They want them to come and click on the video because they think that Trump is doing something illegal, so these people are feeding in.
Mind you, if you really want to help a particular party or everyone entirely, best way is just go out there and do canvassing. Shout out to all the canvassers out there. Love you, appreciate you. Regardless if you have partisan leanings or not, if you're outside actually trying to, you know, make the process work, you have my love, appreciation, and adoration, and you eternally will. So even if everyone else is a little dick shit to you, as long as you're out there doing the actual work, know that one dumb bitch on the internet thinks you're pretty fucking metal.
Into that so that they come and watch their content for clicks and views. That's the reality. That's the reality.
The legal theories the Trump administration is invoking to justify this military action against Venezuela are rooted in U.S. domestic law, not international law like the global war on terror. They describe it as a law enforcement mission to force Maduro to face U.S. criminal charges filed in 2020. And so, grand jury indictment in hand, they carried out a warrant for his arrest. You know, standard cop stuff with gunships. Which is all the more insane because Trump took to the pulpit to tell the American people he was seizing control of their government and natural resources.
That means we're in charge. We're going to run everything. We're going to run it, fix it. We're in the business of having countries around us that are viable and successful, and where the oil is allowed to freely come out because that's good, it gets the prices down.
We'll get to why that plan is stupid and stupidly illegal, but right now the head of...
So, let me just explain something to you. People like this guy who are left-wing...
Am I like such a fucking, like... Bro, can I like go 5 minutes without accidentally extending the length of a video we're reacting to? I kind of forgot it was a Tactical Templar video and for a moment was like, oh, this must be a Legal Evil video. Lol. Nope, hold on, person. Gotta kill them.
They try to use law and procedure. They misrepresent it intentionally, but they try to use it as an obstacle to slow you down. But they know that it's bullshit. They know that it's not legitimate. They know that people like Obama or Obama was drone striking people left and right. Was that a declaration of war?
Oh yeah, Obama was drone striking the fuck out of Yemen. I wonder how Mr. Obama's doing right now. I wonder what he's up to. I hope he's doing well. You know, fuck it. I do wish everyone well, regardless of what the fuck they do with their lives. So, fuck it. I wonder how Yemen's doing after that. That's the real question.
Did he get congressional approval? No. When Joe Biden unilaterally did things, did he get congressional approval? No. But when it...
Can I get congressional approval? I have some shady shit I want to get to really quickly if no one minds. It's nothing big, nothing horrible. I mean, just, you know, removal of sapience on the planet. Because they done pissed me the fuck off and I feel a way about it or something, maybe. I don't want to talk about it. But basically, sapiocide.
Trump, then there's a different standard because these people oppose Trump and they're trying to weaponize the law because they want to slow him down because they don't want him to make America great. And they're using this appeal to the international authority, which is absolutely ludicrous. We set international law. We pay for NATO, by the way. We have been paying for NATO almost exclusively for most of my lifetime. We are the ones with the power. We are the superpower in the world. We are the ones that should be doing things for our best interest. And by the way, we have been taking on burden after burden after burden after burden as a nation for most of my lifetime. Taking useless...
Okay, though he sounds moldy as fuck, he's not inaccurate. We have been taking on burden after burden after burden as a nation for how the fuck old is he? Possibly most of his lifetime. Anyways, yeah, he's not wrong about that, but he is molding out on Maine really hard. And I'm just gonna be a dickhead and say, if we're gonna give people shit for blending humor with a very serious topic, I'm also gonna be the silly goofer that points out how once you start molding, like, you lose the ear of the person that you're trying to criticize. So, fuck it, not my bag. I'm critical of everyone. So... fuck it.
Illegal immigrants that provide nothing or a drain on the system. Somalis. What the fuck do they provide? Nothing. They come from a squalid, shithole, garbage tier nation, don't do anything for anyone, have these little enclaves, are rude, racist, steal, and then when they're caught, they want to attack you and they want to call you a bigot. Get these fucking freaks out of my country.
Like, the weird thing is like, to an extent, he's totally valid in that, right? Like, there are folks that outright do weaponize identity politics to a disgusting amount. I oftentimes point them out when they're in the DNC leadership because there it's exceptionally nasty, and I'm, like, the least of a fan of it, period. But anyways, I just thought it was important to, like, be very specific for a moment about the direction of my gripe, because, like, usually you do, it's a little bit more easy to get motherfuckers to pay attention if you're very specific with your gripes and grievances, as opposed to, like, inadvertently vague posting that IRLs use a bits. Where the fuck is... Oh my gosh.
Deport all of them. I don't care if it's by a cargo plane. I don't care if it's by a catapult. Send these people...
Okay, now speaking of deporting people via catapult, I'm not saying I'm for it, but it is funny. It's funny sounding. It is definitely funny sounding. Not saying we should do it. To be honest, I think we ought not do it. But it sounds funny, so... You know. I'm not saying we should or shouldn't. I'm just saying it sounds like a very cartoon-esque way to go about it. And I did grow up with a decent bit of Bugs Bunny. That good old Tex Avery shit as well, so...
Home. Start doing things that benefit America and the American people. And the reason that these people are saying this is because they want to try to weaponize the
Avery and Barbera, that was some good animation.
Law. But if it's something that they support, they don't give a shit about the law. Do you think that Legal Eagle was demanding that law enforcement crack down on Black Lives Matter and Antifa, where they were burning across this country like a fucking scourge? Like they were the Zerg. An infestation.
He's calling the Zerg the ones that burn things? Nope, that's the Protos. The Protoss burn things when the Zerg infest everything. So again, I hate to be a pedantic shit stain, but this one I just can't let it slide. So what he means to say is, when they were running about getting everything disgusting like the Zerg and the Protoss at the same time, it's like you had factions of Zerg and Protoss. And if you want to like really dig deep, you can look at how a lot of the folks that might find themselves more in line with the hello fellow vegan people, sorry to shit on us, but I'm going to. So with the vegan folks that went pure eco-terrorism as opposed to actually just trying to, you know, reduce suffering regardless of who the fuck it was, you know, you can basically identify a vegan teacher and vegan gains easy as opposed to like my bitch ass, right? So like, okay. So let's say that you've got a like one polarization of a like, let's say you've got like folks that are very much going about it like the Zerg, and then another set of folks going about it very much like the Protoss, but then they're both in the same organization and you want to ascribe a name to it. You might go so far as to say, well, there's a bunch of people that can try to convince everyone there's a genocide of trans people going on constantly, and they're a little bit like the Zerg. And then you can also go and say, well, there's a lot of people that are trying to actually set shit on fire, and they're a little bit like the Protoss. And these people, for some reason, try to fucking ride each other's dicks. That would be available. That would be a very easy one to go after. That makes sense. But saying the Zerg set shit on fire when the Zerg are vulnerable as fuck to fire is a little bit lost on me, honestly. I'm not the biggest fan of misascribing attributes to the Zerg when the Protoss are like my favorite to play is entirely Protoss. So I'm just really here being a Protoss supremacist again, so I'm not sorry. I have my allegiances and I'm sticking to them. Protoss number 1, everyone else number 0, get the fuck out. Protoss number 1, all the way.
A cancer, a bubbling plague. When they were burning across the U.S., do you think this guy was like, well, this is highly illegal. We need to send in the full force of... No, because these people allow and support criminality. They allow and support criminality.
I mean, it does give a bit more credence to legal mindset saying that it's the downfall of the West when people actually support criminal behavior but refuse to call out criminal behavior. It doesn't really act to detract from what he's trying to say there. I don't think anywhere is genuinely declining in a very like severe way in that capacity in the States, especially when you have contrasts otherwise. But, you know, maybe I'm just a fucking pussy. I accept that I am possibly a fucking pussy about everything. I just want people to get along and hug each other.
When it benefits them, but when it doesn't, they pretend to put their hands together in prayer and say, we must follow the law. We must follow international law. Well, guess what, bitch? We make international law. We are the law. America is the law. Like Judge Dredd said, you betray the law. Law. I am the law. We are the law. We make the law. And by the way, If the law says that we cannot do anything to deal with a narco-terrorist that is killing people, then that law is immoral and it is evil. If there is a law that says, no, your hands are tied, you can't do this thing that's going to benefit people, that's going to make lives better, you can't do that.
Y'all, I really wanted the Make Universe 7 Great Again hat, but I think it would also be funny if I got a Make Venezuela Great Again hat. I think that would be absolutely fucking hilarious. I wonder where I can get one of that. I wonder if I have to make it. I wonder if someone has just like milled some out or if I have to like make it. I don't mind. I've never made a hat though. I mean, I've done like fucking the like press on decal shit for clothing before, but that's kind of like cheap. Should I embroider? I know how to, but I'm not good at making hats. I've never had to make a hat before. Oh, I want to learn how to embroider hats, honestly. That sounds so fun. That could be a nice weekend activity, you know? Like, maybe stream embroidering hats, or maybe just like do it off stream and just chill. Embroidery for the win, let's go.
You can't do this thing that's going to make lives better for a lot of people. No, your hands are tied. Then you know what? You know what the answer is? To change the law or ignore it. You say, I am the Senate. I am the Senate. America decides the rules. We are the superpower of the world. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of these pathetic, self-aggrandizing, self-absorbed egotists that are all about how can I enrich myself at the expense of the American people. I'm sick and tired of these people. So my answer is fuck you. We are going to take that oil. Now,
I mean, we've already taken the oil. Mr. Trump has outright said that who's going to control the oil? Him. I don't know why that's we're going to. That's already happened. The tints on the people these days. Not even the fun tints. Like, not even the kind of tints where it's like, you're gonna pitch a tint, aren't you, buddy? Not in the weird way. But still. The tints on these people, on the people these days. The tints these people keep pitching. Fuck it. I'm playing games.
The Venezuelans are going to profit. They're going to make a lot of money. Their lives are going to improve because we're taking control. We are taking control of our hemisphere. We're taking control of our nation. We're getting these illegals and criminals and fraudsters the fuck out. We're going to do it. Now, if you try to make an appeal to an immoral law and try to say, well, but the law says, then you know what? We'll deal with you too. We'll arrest you too. We'll put you in the work camps. We'll put you in the leftist work camps. It is inconceivable to me that we're even having this conversation.
If they're going to be leftist work camps, can they be ran by like warring factions of leftist folks? I think partisanship's a fucking wash all around the board. I mean, I think partisanship's a fucking wash. There's nothing really else to say about it. It's a fucking wash. If someone disagrees, well, okay, that's cute. Do you want a cookie? I can bake pretty well. I mean, fuck it. I'll legit make you a cookie.
Where Donald Trump did something that was an objective good. The world is better without Maduro in power. And yet, this guy's waffling, wringing his hands, calling our military dorks. Because he has some, but they didn't dot their T's and cross their I's to my satisfaction. Well, fuck you. Who are you? Nobody voted for you. Nobody cares about you. Trump has a mandate. And by the way, I know you may be confused. Mandate is not where you and your boyfriend go out to dinner. A mandate...
Wait, a mandate isn't where you and the boys go get snacks? Shit. Oh, fuck, man. I guess that's a big L, because I was going to tell my one friend that we were going to take, like, her boyfriend to, like, go get snacks. I thought that was going to be, like, us taking bro on a mandate or something, you know? Like, just go to spoil him. Make sure he's doing okay. Fuck. Whatever. Fuck it.
Is not where you and your boyfriend have sex. No, a mandate is the American people have said, Trump, you have our vote. Go out and purge the world of these evil people. Make America stronger. Make it safer. Make it better. Get these illegals out. Arrest these Democrats, governors, judges, these Karens. Round them up. Put them in prison. Get them out. That is the mandate that the American people gave to Trump. And you are sitting here confused, going, well, I don't understand. Like, how could Trump do this? This helps America. Well, isn't he thinking about Eritrea and like other countries? Like, oh yeah, I don't know how to feel. We're actually winning. We're doing something for America. Oh man, get the fuck out of here. You know what? I'm gonna go a step further. I think Trump should do the same thing.
I think it would be funny if someone ran under, like someone in the States, right? It's like, okay, they shouldn't say Portugal first. They should be like Portugal the man first. And then just like their whole fucking body of work should be about like supporting a fucking band. Would be funny. Not saying it's a good idea. I am saying it's funny. Not saying I'd do it, but I'm saying I would laugh at it. Not saying it would get my vote, but I am saying it would be funny as piss.
With Colombia, I think Trump should do the same thing with Colombia. I think he should do the same thing with Cuba. Yeah. Team up with Argentina and clean up South America. It's our hemisphere. We have to deal with this. And you know what? Why don't we take it a step further? You know what? Why don't we... I'm going to get in so much trouble for this.
Is he going to say drawing and quartering? Because if he's going to say take it a step farther, I'm going to get in trouble for this, then drawing and quartering. I have gone with like, I mean, it would be funnier if he said give a bloody eagle to legal eagle. I'm not saying that you should do that, but I'm saying if you were going to go for fucking like word games and etc., just otherwise funny fucking ways you can amalgamate phrases together, that would be kind of funny, actually. Because like, no, you should never do such a thing. Never wish harm on people, my dudes. However, it would be a funny turn of phrase, right? Like bloody eagle to person. But bro, don't ever do it. But fuck me alive, would it be a funny way to put words together? Like absolutely fucking slay me.
But I really don't care. Why don't we do the same thing with Canada? Yeah, by the way, Canadians are fantasizing about invading the U.S. and sharing the U.S. with Mexico because these mother Canuckers actually think that they have a chance against the United States. They actually think that they're going to conquer the U.S. and split it with Mexico. I hate to break this to you.
He's bumping his microphone a decent bit, but it sounds like he's playing with his fly. And I have nothing to say about this other than it's really funny and ha-ha. Definitely the ha-ha, but also the ha-ha. Peak ha-ha. Do think amusing.
But that's never going to happen. What may happen is that we may just conquer you because, frankly, it'd probably be easier than dealing with you. You mother Canuckers. You snow Mexicans. And by the way, when we're done with the cartels, who knows? Maybe we do go after Mexico. My point is, we are going to make our entire hemisphere great again. We are going to do what needs to be done. And your hand-wringing and caterwauling and complaining is going to change precisely nothing.
If a foreign state is making their way through the criminal court of the Southern District of New York...
Okay, that's the coolest fucking outfit ever. Just like onesie. Just a onesie with bunny ears. I'm kind of jealous, honestly.
On some interesting charges, including conspiracy to acquire a machine gun. So let's dive into what the hell just happened and what happens next. Nicolas Maduro is unquestionably a...
Hey, dear lovely chat of mine, can I have a bunny onesie? I'm gonna do it. I want one.
A brutal dictator and prolific violator of human rights. He imprisoned and tortured his political enemies, journalists, protesters, and even ordinary citizens who ran afoul of his administration. In short, he sucks at life. And back in 2017, when his power was slipping in the face of widespread protest, Maduro forced the country's legislature to rewrite the constitution to give him even more power. The next year, Maduro called an election, but banned his opponents, suppressed voter turnouts, and imprisoned the competition. Classic sham election. Wouldn't you know it, the rascal did it again in 2024. And these sham elections are why the United States, Europe, and most of South and Central America do not recognize him as the legitimate leader of Venezuela. And under Maduro's interesting economic policies, Venezuela plunged from one of the fastest growing economies in South America in the early 2000s to an absolute hellscape of food scarcity, crime, disease, and child mortality, where the national currency was worth less than the paper it was printed on. This economic catastrophe triggered a wave of mass migration that destabilized an entire region. An estimated 7.7 million people fled. That's 20% of Venezuela's population. About 500,000 landed in the US. Trump has repeatedly played up unfounded scare stories about these Venezuelan migrants.
They sent from their mental institutions.
I mean, that may be one of the, like, when he's reading off the things about Maduro, he's correct. And it's actually worse than he's saying. Maduro is a monster. But I want you to understand, he's saying all that, and then he's going to get to a but. Oh, but, we shouldn't have, gone in there, and we shouldn't have taken him out, and, really, Maduro...
I mean, there is an open warrant for Mr. Maduro, and federal law enforcement did the do, so... Oh, fuck, they ran away fast enough. I'm not going to chase them anymore. I'm going to find something I can use to shoot them before they can shoot me's. Comes on, Miss Katie's. Oh, got it. Shotgun.
Should be freed, and we should put him back, and obviously that's not what he's going to say directly, but that is the spirit of what these people are saying. That Maduro should go back because they hate Trump that much. It's crazy to me. And then he disingenuously says, well, Trump said that Venezuela was sending all of their... Yeah, they were. Well, unfounded and without evidence. They do have evidence. They've shown it. That these countries were sending their worst across the border. We know that because MS-13 made it into the country. A lot of these gang members, cartel members, made it into the country. But this guy is going to sit here and try to manipulate you and tell you that no, don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe your lying ears. Don't believe when you see these videos of these gang members taking over apartment complexes in Colorado.
If we don't get the storm phases and players wins this run, it means I died before I got 2 kills and you should laugh at me.
Or any number of places. Don't believe that. Don't believe your lying eyes. No, he's going to do that because he hates Trump. Ignoring the suffering of innocent people. When people told me that this video was bad, I was expecting it to be bad. But we're 3 minutes in. I don't know if I'm going to make it through the whole thing. This is shocking already.
I mean, you can't say the man isn't transformative. He has been bitching for 18 minutes over 3 minutes. Now, mind you, I've been pausing him and bitching for longer. But that's just like what you get when you have layers upon layers of reaction, when it's Tactical Templar reacting to legal and me just taking a big dookie on everything. You kind of get there. I mean, and also, you really did fuck up with that whole Protos, slip, where you could have said the Protos burn shit, and then the Zerg are, the ones infesting it. You could easily have said that the fucking extremist folks, the extremist Islamic folks, not everyone, just the extremists, are like the Zerg, and that the folks trying to tell every trans person there's a genocide of them going on. You could have easily related that to the Protoss and the Zerg and drawn the conflation between the two, and even pointed out how it can be correlatory. But the moment that you say that the Zerg are burning everyone, sir, your argument kind of bucks itself down a little bit. And to be fair, I don't have any fucking sorrow for being critical about this. I think it is a very valid and reasonable critique, based in I play video games, and I play video games.
This is one of the most inept coverages that I've seen of this topic, and that includes Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker's video was mind-bendingly stupid. But at least Hassan had a singular tone throughout the whole thing, which was him being loud and bombastic and retarded. This guy doesn't know what tone he wants to take. But at the end of the day, I think what you can surmise from this is that this guy is willing to talk about how bad Maduro is, but somehow Trump is worse, that there's an illegal war in Venezuela, that really Trump shouldn't have done this. That is the narrative. It's absolutely fucking diabolical. It is despicable the way that people like this will try to make the world a little bit worse, just to profit and get some clicks and to promote an ideology that is one of the most evil and insidious that I've ever seen.
They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States. But no longer.
In fact, it's fair to say that Donald Trump has been fixated on Venezuela since coming to power. During Trump's first term, he repeatedly instituted sanctions against Venezuela and even invited the Venezuelan opposition leader to be a special guest at the 2020 State of the Union address. And in March of 2020, the first Trump administration indicted Maduro, his wife, and a dozen of his henchmen with narco-terrorism, corruption, drug trafficking, and other criminal charges. But in Trump's second term, this obsession with Maduro went off the rails. Trump's DOJ launched an
It's an obsession.
Oh, you're starting to see why people call Tactical Templar a lolcow? I mean, you know, at least he's not being like the freak-ass bitches that we're overly fucking endowed with in our world. So, yeah, maybe. But he's not doing like the whole litany of oddball shit that we're too more than fed up with. So I think I'm just desensitized on it. Because, like, my first lolcow was Ian Foote, and he was begging people to murder and rape his daughter. And so when you start with that as your first lolcow, and not some, like, poultry just rolled up and found King Cobra for the first time shit, where he's trying to, like, you know, give young dudes advice and shit, I think you have a different bar for what lolcow is to you, and I could just be legitimately desensitized by that experience being my first motherfucking lolcow. So I'm willing to accept that for what it is. But, you know. Yeah.
Guys, you see how Trump is obsessed with Maduro? He's obsessed. This poor innocent Maduro, this poor innocent guy that has been aiding America's enemies, has been doing business deals with China, Iran, and Russia. This country that has been funding terrorism, this country that has been aiding every enemy and every criminal enterprise that has affected and hurt the U.S., Trump is just obsessed with them. I don't know why Trump would be obsessed. Do you see the language that these people use? The disingenuous nature of what these people are doing? It's absolutely despicable and diabolical.
Investigation into the thoroughly debunked right-wing conspiracy theory that Venezuela was a secret squirrel in the Biden crime family's scheme to steal the 2020 election from the rightfully elected Trump. And in Truth Social repost this year, Trump doubled down on these accusations. In March, Trump designated Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization and claimed that Maduro was, in fact, the leader of that gang. Trump argued.
Oh man, can you believe that Trump labeled Tren de Aragua a terrorist organization? Oh, this guy's he's about to cry.
I mean, in good news, you know who else got labeled a terrorist org? The Muslim Brotherhood.
Argued that this allowed him to deport Venezuelans to a Salvadoran torture prison with no due process.
A Salvadoran torture prison with no due process. They do have due process. They all have due process. The process that they are due is that we don't kill them for breaking our laws and entering into the country. We're going to deport them. They all have to go back. The president has that right. The federal government has the power over immigration. So this idea, due process, they are not owed due process, by the way. But we give it to them anyway. These people are all going back. Biden allowed 25 million people into the country. They're all going back. This is an emergency situation. But you like how CCOT is referred to as a torture prison? A torture prison? Because these weak, nimbious liberal men.
It happened again. Nimbious? Why am I like, okay. Why am I playing Fortnite when I have a chance to rip open a dictionary? What the fuck is wrong with me? Should I just risk death in game to go find what nimbious is supposed to entail? I kind of want to.
They recoil at the idea of law and order. What Bukele has done in El Salvador is nothing short of miraculous. He took all the people that were committing crimes and he put them in jail. And this freak has a problem with that. He thinks, oh, that's a torture prison. No, it's just a prison for some of the most violent, vicious, subhuman scum imaginable.
Process. The courts weren't buying it, but the administration kept doing it anyway. In August, Trump issued a $50 million bounty on Maduro. In September, Trump and Pete Hegseth started their murder strikes on Venezuelan boats, which have...
Murder strikes! Guys, the murder strikes on Venice...
Murder strikes sounds... I've actually had an ex call, like, his, attempt at dinner murder steaks. Mind you, I would have sided with him on that, not because I'm a vegan bitch, but particularly because he burns food and doesn't know how to fucking cook. That's, like, a little nitpicky, but it's not untrue.
Venezuelan boats. Oh, God! Oh, God! So do you guys start to understand now? Do you start to get it? The left is evil. They defend evil, promote evil. When it's something that they agree with, they don't give a shit about the rules. They don't give a shit about the law. But when it comes to things they disagree with, they will try to weaponize your principles and your values against you to stop you from doing what's in your own best interest.
Can I go through this?
Never forget who and what these people are.
Mind you, I will consistently whinge that I know appropriate people on the left and the right, and my lovely folks don't act like a bunch of fucking shitcakes. Now, I understand that's not everybody, so I feel fortunate and spoiled, honestly, so I'm pretty fucking happy. My existence is pretty fucking cushy.
Drug boats. Oh man, yeah, that poor fishing drug submarine. Do you guys remember that submarine? That poor fishing submarine. Man. Oh man, those speedboats with 5 engines. Oh my gosh. Those poor fishing boats with 5 engines. These people are the enemy. And you need to understand your enemy. You need to look at this sort of content.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong. You do need to understand your enemy. That is true. I mean, I used to say that when I would watch the Goldman Sachs podcast. I'm a piece of shit. I always thought that the credit industry was kind of fucked. And I still do. But, like, at least now I know there's, like, a lot more nuance I can apply, as opposed to when I was, like, legitimately, let's say, 14 back in the day, and I knew a lot less about their inner workings and how to levy it to one's benefit. All I could hear about were people having, like, the worst experiences, so that differs. I still don't like it. I still try to, like, only grow it, never use it. I still don't like it, but, you know, I'm less whingy. I'm just like very, don't use it. It sounds scary. Be careful, cherish it, grow it like wealth. But meh, whatever.
And realize these are the people that are out there defending the worst of the worst, all for their own personal gain, all for politics, all for the ability to come before you and, you know, try to just bullshit you, try to bamboozle you, try to fool you. But I'm not buying it, and you know what? I don't think a lot of people are either. I'm not even going to finish the rest of the video. What's the point? What's the point of watching more of this? Maybe I will. Legal Eagle seems to jump in, or maybe this is from another video.
More stuff, not cop stuff. Cops don't have ballistic missiles yet.
Cops should have ballistic missiles. I don't know why I want them to have them, but I think it would be funnier, and there's a higher chance I'd be able to go to the range with someone and go fuck with ballistic missiles. So actually, yeah, let's do that. My officers were lovely, so if they had ballistic missiles, I'm sure they'd be appropriate and responsible with them, and when they go do training and proficiency shit, I'd just go with them, because I want to fuck with that. That sounds cozy. Maybe not cozy in the, oh, let's go slather it on our skin sense, but cozy in the, I want to fuck with that sense.
Sorry to interrupt, Scala, but this is the #1 news story in the world right now, and I'm absolutely fascinated by how it's being covered differently by different sources. Depending on which sources you follow, you might come away thinking that you're watching entirely different events unfold, and that's the real danger. Facts don't necessarily shape public opinion, framing does. And with a story this big developing this fast across hundreds of outlets, it's nearly impossible to get the full picture without the right tools. That's why I rely on...
Oh, it's an ad. So, Legal Eagle comes in. Legal Eagle comes in for the ad. And by the way, Legal Eagle.
Then it's not him coming in for the ad. It's him having a cut in for an ad. Like, that was probably recorded separately and he's just like the ad boy.
You are a far left, radical, pro-communist. Now you're pro-dictator channel. So, by the way, why on earth would I ever support Ground News if Ground News has you as a spokesman and a representative? Why would I ever choose Ground News if they're like, yeah, this Legal Eagle guy that lies about most of his stuff and is a left-wing activist? I would never trust them. I just, based on observation, I've never used Ground News before, but I wouldn't trust them based on this. Because this video that, you featured them in, is filled with lies, anti-American propaganda.
That 81% accuracy seems like a farce. I don't believe it. Like, I'm sorry, I do not believe myself. I don't believe that's true.
And you, essentially, coming out in defense of a radical, terrible narco-terrorist. A guy that wasn't a legitimate leader, a guy that had a bounty on his head, a guy that was perfectly fair game for extraction, and you want to come out in defense of him because you don't like Trump. Anyway, that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the video on Legal Eagle. I made it 5 minutes and 54 seconds. This was a difficult video to get through. This was tough. This was a chore. It was a slog. Because every word, every point was either a lie or trying to build up to something where they could shift the narrative. This is no different than watching mainstream legacy media news. Anyway, that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I really want to stare at this, but it is called the Google search that killed CIA agents. It's not the first time that, like, OPSEC has been, like, drained out of its own ballsack. So I'm not saying I'm not expecting it to be what I think it's gonna be. Shooting the ounce pistol? What's this?
Pop the door open, and then we just drop around in there. We could chamber it now and get 10+1.
Google searches have also, not Google searches, I believe it was Strava, has also divulged information about facilities, underground facilities, people's patrol routines. Yeah. So I guess the important lesson here is bring your own device has always been a societal L. If you're working somewhere, may it be in the capacity of the armed forces or just working there because you want to like fuck around and have fun, they should issue you a device for work, and they should likely request that you turn off location services the moment that your job looks like having a patrol.
Gentlemen, how's it going? You know, what if I told you that the CIA got its agents killed and all it took was one little Google search? You might be like, wow, this has got to be one of the craziest stories that I've seen, or maybe an insane level of clickbait. And I tell you, ladies and
That'll do. Stellar Blade OST, Oasis, an absolute banger. Always gotta love it, always gotta have respect. Amazing jam. Absolutely outstanding jam. 10 out of 10 isn't even a big enough number. I'd say a bajillion out of 10, honestly. That's a better number for it, a bajillion out of 10. Sorry, I'm like thinking about salt stack stuff. So I realize I have to get offline kind of soon because my brain is legitimately all salt stack right now.
gentlemen, it is not. To give you an idea, I wanted to talk about this for a fair bit, but there's actually quite a lot to the story that I feel needs to be relayed. Now, the CIA is the first, according to them, the nation's first line of defense. The Central Intelligence Agency is the US's primary intelligence agency, and they're one of the most feared in the world, right? Now, what if I told you there's many different ways to access CIA.gov? There's CIA.gov here.
They have an Onion router, I believe. You can reach CIA over the Onion network, memory serves. Like, they give you a lot of ways to get a hold of them, because if you have to divulge something to them, they want you to be able to do it safely. Like, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that someone sold out some other motherfucker. Thanks to intelligence services. Because sometimes people just want the best for others, regardless of where they're from. Like most people. Most people want that, I'd presume. And if I'm wrong, then most people suck. If most people don't want the best for others, then most people suck.
You can access it from the dark web, but what if you can enter in starwarsweb.net? And as soon as you hit enter, what if I told you it routed you to CIA.gov? Now, why would a website called starwarsweb.net guide you to the CIA? Well, what if I told you the CIA made 800 plus websites that all looked like the most innocuous websites you could ever have seen, all used by secret agents to send coded messages? Now, I was playing some Knights of the Old Republic earlier, and honestly, the inspiration for the—
Oh, KOTOR, that's a good game. I like Knights of the Old Republic. I played a lot of this when I was doing like Star Wars roleplay with my one good friend from like way back whensidy wins, and we would roleplay as Mandalorians, and we'd just go and like do fucking random in-game assassination runs on the people playing either Jedi or Sith, because the other faction would hire us to do it, and it was really fun. I really miss those times. That was one of my bestest buddies. He actually is one of my favorite gun nerds. It helped me learn trigonometry when I was little. Really good dude, really good dude. Absolutely adore him. Wishing him the best always.
This video kind of just came out from a story that I heard like years ago. And I figured, you know, I might as well just research and like send it out on my channel, because to me, my channel is like a diary and it's just something that's been on my mind for a while. Now, this is starwarsweb.net. Now, on the surface, you might be looking at this and thinking to yourself, it just looks like a standard website from 2010, Muda. You know, they have Star Wars, Beyond the Unknown, May the Force be with you, Master Yoda's favorite games, like these games.
Yeah, but this is on the Wayback Machine, and what I'm guessing happens is CIA let a domain ownership lapse, or not even ownership lapse. Someone likely did some orchestration shit and decided to like take accountability for a lot of older domains that might have been perceived to be defunct but possibly weren't, and or historical information from DNS requests within places that may not want to have that places that have a more locked down and surveilled internet might have been able to just query historical data for what now gets routed there. And no one took that into account, which is honestly kind of a shame, because look at this, this easy, right? You run Terraform once, you aggregate all your domains, all those that you think don't actively have utilization, you route them to, like, you CNAME that shit, you route it to your main domain. All right, well now what if you're talking about a nation where they explicitly monitor everyone's internet traffic? Well, now you have an issue where they can historically go through information and see whoever went to that website ever, which now compromises even historical operations in nations that might have had more surveillance on internet fucking usage.
You will. Master Yoda only plays Star Wars games, it seems. You know, you got an Xbox, but you ain't playing no Halo 2, get out of here. So you want to be a Jedi? Lego ads? You basically have like the ultimate 2010 core Star Wars website out there. Now obviously, in amongst all these websites, there's so many other areas for you to kind of access. There are the message boards, Lucas Forums, Star Wars United, the Coruscant City Forums. And back then, the internet forums used to just look like this. You know, you would have just thousands upon thousands of people posting about the movies, beyond the movies, the video games, so on and so forth. So, you know, you're just somebody minding your own business, you're just checking the electronic games, for instance, and this is the actual official Star Wars forums. But to give you a quick idea, going back to some of those Star Wars websites, there was a way to secretly access a private network, a private portal for an actual CIA informant, agent, whatever. Once they would access this, they would be greeted with the option of entering a password. Now, while accessing Star Wars is a little bit impossible for now, there's another linked CIA website that kind of has this functionality, from my understanding, built in. One website that was caught under this domain was alljohnny.com, a Johnny Carson fan site. Anybody that doesn't know who Johnny Carson is, you know, I really didn't know much about him too. That's because this is actually well beyond my time too. This was a late night host, comedic genius. And if you go to the submit your favorite Carson moment, one of the things that you would see is this little password. Now, I don't really have the access to this password, for instance, and honestly, I don't think anybody else really does. But generally, the idea is once you enter the right...
When was this website made? Because if it's like Flash, or even if the HT access or HT passwords got indexed, I mean, the Johnny Carson one, I would have immediately gone for the HT passwords file. I would have immediately seen if it was a Flash document. I would have immediately began trying to see if the password was hard-coded in JavaScript. I would have gone fucking hard. The moment I fucking saw that, I would have started poking. I'm not a fucking... Some people say they're not a saint. I am definitely not a fucking kind lady when I'm curious. I'm just curious. Feverishly curious. So curious that I'll dig through everything. Johnny fucking holy shit. Bro, you see a password form on some old authentication, you better at least try to get the HT passwords file. The fuck are you doing? Go hard. See if anybody's archives that shit. You can easily sidestep it these days. It's modern day nonsense. Well, see if the fucking URI still gets you somewhere close. I don't fucking know. See if you can get the old fucking DNS resolution. See if you can find out what IP adder it was on. Maybe it's still up. Let's go crack it open. Let's go see. Don't do anything I've said.
Right password, you would get sent to a encrypted CIA portal where you could post whatever you wanted to the CIA. Imagine you're like a spy, right? You needed to send your information. This is kind of like the digital drop site way of sending your information out there. And there were hundreds of these sites, like I said. For instance, did you guys know that rastadirect.net was actually owned, allegedly, by the Central Intelligence Agency? Yeah, you know, somebody would connect to this website where they would learn all about Rastafari people, their culture, yada yada yada.
I wonder if there's a more reasonable correlation between the websites, like they all used an easily breachable CMS that allowed intelligence services to put resources on them, because that might be what I would have gone with. Like, if I had an intelligence service that I had to run, and I needed to leverage a lot of shit, and I'm not saying that all of them are going to be this way. Some are clearly going to be like DNS was like owned by them and utilized. But I'm also wondering, like, first, if that was the initial thing. Secondly, if it was done secondarily because they'd already breached it and wanted some degree of more access. Or tertiarily, like, okay, so let's just say for a moment that if I'm doing some shady operations and I've got people to keep safe, I'm gonna probably go for common failures in default passwords, easily exploitable shit that isn't updated, and I'm gonna probably let them have a dead drop, a digital dead drop somewhere. Not on, like, you know, cloud hosting or something that'll get popped, but if it's someone's little fucking basement, great grandpa does their hosting server, that's definitely what I'd do. And again, please do not go looking for the HT passwords. I presume this is still honeypot-like. And if you go looking, someone's gonna fucking come knocking. So probably don't do that.
But ultimately, inside this website was a secret way to access a CIA portal, and each of these websites would be assigned to a specific agent or a specific informant. So of course there were other websites too, like for instance, recently the United States took, ownership, I guess you could say, of Venezuela, or at least basically took their head of state and are basically like leading the government. Now in this case, this is a website known as noticiascaracas.com. Now if you actually look at this website, it looks mostly like a news website. But somebody would basically have access to this website and submit information, mostly from Venezuela. Now, if you ever think that the Delta Force took Venezuelans like head of state that easily, it's probably because the United States has such a great intelligence network that they basically knew in and out what they had to do. And a lot of this was actually garnered by the vast network of informants that the CIA has all over the world. For instance, in China, eChess News would be one such website that would allegedly be used by CIA informants to submit information, obviously pertaining to the Chinese, as was sportsnewsfinders.com. Again, these websites looked pretty simple, right? They were just websites focusing on sports. But of course, that's what they had to look like to the average public. Because if anybody knew what was actually happening over here, then it would put some serious lives into danger. So yeah, that's pretty much just the gist of how it goes. Now if you're wondering, but Muda, how does the CIA go about recruiting people like this? Well, you might actually be not so shocked, but early last year, like around May 1st, 20 million views were on this video, and you might be wondering, what is this Chinese video? Well, this Chinese video is uploaded by the Central Intelligence Agency, literally on government channels. And of course, these videos are high production masterpieces, one would say, basically asking Chinese officials to start leaking information to the Central Intelligence Agency. Hey pal, do you want to give up information? Do you want to expose Chinese secrets to the Americans? Well, here you go. And you think I'm joking? Like, I'm not even joking with you. They literally show people the CIA's website, not just the CIA's website, but what I can honestly imagine to be the onion link. They even actually have material to show people in China how to access the CIA via Tor. And it wasn't the only video they made too. There was other videos as well too of officials accessing Chinese portals. 14 million views. And it wasn't just the Chinese that they were targeting with this method too. There are other videos that target specifically the Russian Federation.
All right, I'm just saying, like, looking at the citizenlab.ca and the Schmeiron security publications, like, if I were doing a shady operations, I would have definitely just breached someone else's hardware and proliferated from there. I would not be the one standing it up. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Federation. And these videos have like 64,000 views, so clearly it doesn't seem like a lot of Ruskies are watching this shit, but a lot of Chinese people seem to gobble it. Or the CIA's viewbotting. Honestly, I don't know which one's worse. But yeah, the propaganda network of the United States is actually pretty vast. You may not know this, but the House actually passed back in 2024 a $1.6 billion bill. All right, $1.6 billion were diverted so that anti-Chinese sentiment could be spread all over the internet. Again, like the actual media here says, somehow it's a crime when Russia does it to us, but good information ops when we want to do it to discredit Beijing's Belt and Road initiatives worldwide. Now look, I'm not here taking a side. I'm actually Switzerland. I don't really give a shit about the US, Russia, or China in this case. Honestly, I think all these countries do a pretty spectacular job of
So you just press reject and subscribe on The Guardian, and then you mash the escape button, and it doesn't load the next asset at once to make you subscribe, and then you can just read. New thing I just learned today, just by pushing buttons and being a fucking absolute fucking twat. Good job me. Good job me.
fucking each other over on a goddamn daily basis. Have you ever seen the vast amount of cyber attacks that have happened between both nations? It's insane. But of course, obviously, this is a crazy situation to be witnessing. And of course, once you really show people how much money is spent in
Ah, shit, it's in Squiggledy Splooge. Which is, again, I like to give a lot of the Germanic and Nordic languages a lot more shit, cause reasons. Like, I love learning languages, mind you, but Germanic languages are hard for me. And, you know, so I then like to call those Squiggledy Splooge. I'm not sorry. Whatever the fuck. What's this say? I have no fucking clue what this says. I just pressed it. I'm refreshing it. How do I do this? Ah! It's trying to accost me in German.
Crediting everyone around the world, it shouldn't necessarily shock you. But of course, I don't know how much of this is necessarily active, because obviously the legislation worked for things like the State Department and things like USAID, which we know are absolutely fucking screwed.
Ah, they're accosting me in Danish, not even German.
Literally last year. But of course, all this aside, let's whittle on back to those websites. So those websites were used by CIA agents to effectively send coded messages or just send messages back to the Central Intelligence Agency. Now, how did these websites get agents killed? How did a Google search get the agents killed? Well, this is where Iran steps in, because initially they were the ones to discover.
Well, the Google search didn't get agents killed. Iran got agents killed. Actually, Iran did the killing. Sounds like that's the case, honestly. So, just saying, you know, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that Alphabet's got the agents killed. I'd say that people who used information they could access over Alphabet-owned companies got people killed by killing them.
For the secret sauce behind these websites. So one of the websites, IranianGoals.com, which is inaccessible on their average internet, but thanks to things like the Wayback Machine, you can pull up an archive of this website. Now, Iranian Goals look like your standard sports website. In fact, it actually linked to a whole bunch of other sports websites as well. Some of these could be legitimate, some of these might even be part of the CIA network. But again, Iranian cybersecurity experts were eagle-eyed to notice that there was one search field down over here. Now, this wasn't necessarily a search field, this is actually a password field. How do we know this? That input would actually be a password, as you saw over here. Now, what somebody would do is they would put in a password. Now, this wasn't necessarily a search field, this is actually a password field. How do we know this? That input would actually be a password, as you saw over here. Now, what was...
Oh, they limit it to a 20-character password? Oh, it's JavaScript in line. Well, as Candace Owens would say, that's fake and gay.
What he would do is they would put in a password and they would be sent to a login address. And actually, from a Reuters investigation, they did showcase what this would look like. So for instance, this applet would show up, you would log in, and then you would be given this little box right over here, where obviously the spy attribute...
This is like, honestly, this is back in the day of ND5, Message Digest 5. This is before people knew how to computer good. This is abhorrent. 20 characters? My passwords have been 100 characters since I was a fucking high schooler.
To this portal would type their coded messages and then send them over to the CIA. So what they started to do is once they figured out how this code existed on this website, they did a technique that we call Google dorking. Now, this is not actually hacking. I want you to understand, the Iranians nor the Chinese actually hacked these websites. No messages were actually hacked. The portal wasn't grabbed into. But these websites, because they use the same parameters, right, the same code inside their website, Google dorking was employed to basically search and identify every single one of these websites. Now, the way these Google dorks worked, and the best way to kind of show you...
I do like Google dorking. Did y'all know that Google stopped you looking from people's credit card numbers like years ago? I'm not finishing this sentence.
This method is...
Of course, I'd never do this. I just like seeing what gets filtered versus not filtered. So I have tried to do some string manip to see if there's a way through it, not because I'd ever do it, just because I think it's funny. And it is funny, and I'm not telling y'all how to do that ever, because I know that I'm not going to use it because I have a lot of reverence for other people's money, income, and well-being and homes and their abilities to sustain their fucking lifestyle. But I don't know who the fuck's going to listen to this in 50 billion years.
To actually help you see how it exactly works. So this is exploitdb.com/Google hacking database. Now this is a public registry of actual dorks that were added. So again, you know, it's a little bit...
I do love the site GitHub begin OpenSSH private key one. That one is actually very fun. I'm a big fan of this. I think it's hilarious.
Older 2024 is kind of like the...
I'd prefer a good old in-URL ID and then in file begin OpenSSH private key, or a plus, which would incorporate a lot of things inclusive of an in text, but a good old plus does a lot. If you want to be really lazy at your Google dorks, just use a plus sign and then quotation marks. You can put regular expressions in here.
Latest that we've seen over here, but it still gives you a really good idea of what to see. So for instance, this is a long string, site github.com begin open SSH private key. Now this is actually a dork, and the way that a dork works is when you go into a search engine, you can type in a bunch of extra parameters, right? So you can actually have the search engine identify and look into fields like in text.
Like, luckily for us, a lot of people do put up like bullshit keys or keys to honeypots when you Google this now, and I'm pretty sure that the good old Gaggles has been trying to limit exposure of SSH keys over their search engine for a long time. Clearly it's not working very well. I mean, these are 2023, but I think they've been trying to do that since way before. And it might be reactive, or they might just be notifying people. They also stopped their dark web notification service. Firing the guy who pointed out a legit issue is like watching a cooking show where the guy who said the temperature is too high gets removed from the stage by security before the food starts catching the stage on fire. Yeah, kinda. That sounds about right.
Or whatever, in title. And once you actually like start searching the web this way, you can look for things that normally wouldn't have been found in a traditional human language Google search. So in this case, by searching for this, you're basically able to scour github.com for somebody potentially leaking their private open SSH key, which if somebody does do this, and some people have, it completely violates a lot of their encryption, completely invalidates in a lot of cases the messages that they've been sending out. So of course, obviously, you could possibly do this with like OpenAI API keys, but you get the idea. You can search for a lot of stuff that you probably shouldn't be getting into. Again, Google dorking is not illegal, nor would I even classify it as hacking. I would probably call this as OSINT stuff, right? Which is, again, just searching for things on the internet. There's
okay, him classifying Google dorking as OSINT as opposed to hacksorings is valid and very helpful, yeah. But I just would have considered it fucking information exposure and fucking information like PII leak on someone else's behalf. Like, yes, it is OSINT to accrue it, but I think I'm willing to blame the victim a lot more when they do that in particular. And I would definitely victim blame someone who posts their fucking SSH private key in public. I would definitely victim blame someone who posts their fucking password in public. I will victim blame them till my fingernails fall off, and I'm not gonna fucking stop.
A lot of cute OSINT tricks that you can bring up, and ultimately that's what the Iranians did. So for instance, let's say somebody who was accessing a website known as havenofgamers.com. Yes, this was allegedly another site in the CIA network that was used by an informant. So the way that this would work is, let's imagine somebody is just filling in or sending information. There's a reason why this method is not totally stupid. You might be like, why would the CIA make it?
It's like... Sorry, this is just like stuck in my head. I'm so sorry. Anyone who calls Google dorking hacking is like calling the IRS a robber for taking tax money.
Sounds really stupid, Mutahar. No. The reason why it's actually good is because if you use things like, for instance, VPNs, or if you use things like the Tor relay, connecting to the dark web or using a VPN when anybody is actually like assessing you at the ISP level, which is what a network would do, which is what a government would do. If you're using VPNs or using Tor, that while they might not be able to see what you're doing on the actual system, while everything that you're doing is encrypted.
Yeah, put everything on a Tailscale VPN and run your shady ops that way. Yeah, brother. That's what I do. I'm currently a big Tailscale fan right now. You can run one Tailscale VPN on a box. Can't fuck up two of them easy. You gotta log into a whole different one. You can have an endpoint on them if you want to. I personally don't run endpoints because I don't use them to put traffic in the public. I use them explicitly so I can like route traffic internally.
The fact that you're using those technologies is basically a giant red fucking flag that says, yeah guys, I might be a fucking agent. It's why I always say when you use all these anti-privacy tools, you get put on a watch list. Because realistically, you're actually putting a giant billboard on yourself that says, yeah, I'm hiding something, I have a reason to hide something, there's a reason I'm going through a million steps to protect my privacy. So ultimately what the CIA did was they had to devise a method where people who were in these countries, right, like places like Iran for instance, could go onto havenofgamers.com. So Iran would just sit there and think, oh, this guy's a fucking gamer, he just wants to play video games. When in reality, he's connecting to these websites and—
I'm gonna definitely like kind of port my Tailscale lifecycle auth shit from what it's currently used for in Kubernetes to something that works better as a container that I will spin up. I'll likely legitimately I'm gonna do some dickhead shit. I'm not gonna not stop. I'm just gonna, oh my gosh. Oh my, I wonder, host networking, a little fucking Docker container running a Tailscale. Nah, I'll just run it natively on this, but I am gonna do something to like give a better interface to it. I'm gonna like, for surezies, I'm going to like take the base Tailscale image and I'm going to like bring in the UI management shit for it, which again, you really wouldn't want to usually do this, but for at-home use, for one container, I'm gonna do it. You can't stop me. I'm considering just serving out certificates and that being the only way things authenticate to it. And that's kind of what I'm probably gonna do. Like, maybe not tonight, but pretty soon.
literally just like sending information to the Central Intelligence Agency. And in some cases, because they would be on these websites that would probably be used by a bunch of people too, like sports websites, they could kind of blend themselves in, right? It served a lot better. It would obviously be pretty shocking if the same IP address kept accessing the same actual website over and over again during very weird times. And that's ultimately one of the ways that these guys ended up getting caught. It wasn't that their information got leaked or messages got leaked. It was the fact that metadata was the shit that tipped these agencies off. Even if you use public computers or whatever, the information you were giving off just by browsing the internet was enough to actually put flags on certain users. There's actually another method that just happened very recently where Amazon busted a North Korean hacker who they had hired. A North Korean IT worker was working at Amazon, and the only way that Amazon uncovered it was when they noticed that his keystrokes had a delay. So at some point they were tracking a 110 millisecond delay, which is pretty massive on the keyboard, and it led Amazon to think, oh, maybe this guy is not from where we hired him. Maybe this guy is from places like North Korea. They launched an investigation and found out just through this little bit of metadata leaking, this little investigation, that the guy they hired wasn't exactly the person they expected. So it's these tiny things that give you away. And when you're actually facing against a country's nation-state hackers, which, remember, these are some of the best hackers in the game, some of the best intelligence people in the game, their whole job is to track other fucking agents. So they're able to track people that are probably as good as them, people that are trained to be able to cover their tracks. And in some cases, when the Iranians figured this shit out, and when they found out that they could basically figure out every other website, because the CIA used the exact same code, the exact same identifier, so they were able to Google dork and figure out every single one of these sites. So it's a simple matter of basically once they identified the site, they could see who was accessing it, or they could basically identify, the errand patterns around them. One of those errand patterns was a man known as Ghulam Reza Husseini, and this is a pretty disgustingly dark story here. So in 2010, when he was leaving from Imam Khomeini Airport, he was preparing to go to Bangkok, and in Bangkok he would meet a CIA handler who would basically take him from there. Now, literally before he could even leave the country, he had to pay his exit tax. But at that moment, at the airport, the ATM machine actually marked the card as invalid. And at that moment in time, he was literally grabbed by a security officer. So Hosseini said he was brought to an empty VIP lounge and told to sit on a couch that had been turned to face a wall. Left alone for a dizzying few moments and not seeing any security cameras, Hosseini thrust his hand into his trouser pocket, fishing out a memory card full of state secrets that could now get him hanged. He shoved the card into his mouth, chewed it to pieces, and swallowed. And you bet he had to swallow that card, because if they found the SD card on him, plugged it into a computer, figured out what he was taking out of the country, that would probably not be him getting hanged. It would probably be him getting tortured first, then probably having a bullet put into his head. That's how freaky this situation is. Back in 2006, a former CIA contractor by the name of John Reedy actually was punished after warning of a catastrophic failure in the agency's operations. And he basically knew that it was a recipe for disaster and they had a catastrophic failure on our hands, to the point where he was identifying that there was actual misuses and we needed to actually change things before people got in trouble. And while a lot of the actual top secret information is still heavily redacted, he does talk about it pretty extensively, and it does make sense over here. He was worried about what would happen. The damage would not stop with the identification of our human assets. Our method of operation made no sense, but it now placed our officers in jeopardy. So this is a long, it's a 27 pager that you can read, and while there's a lot of redactions, I still think you can pull a lot of good stuff out of this, and it's definitely a good little piece of record to show that the CIA should have absolutely known this ahead of time. And again, this was referenced by Security Affairs, who said that, when Yahoo published it, they talked about John Reedy, who warned the CIA that you were using an insecure communication method in 2008 and then in 2010. And then, of course, he was fired by the agency because he just wouldn't shut the fuck up. And ultimately, remember, this is really bad for the CIA, because ultimately the way that their organization can work is if they're able to at least provide some semblance of safety to their actual assets on the ground. If the assets on the ground suddenly start feeling that the CIA is willing to sell them out or not give a shit about them when they're doing such high-risk work, why even bother to work with them in the beginning? So if you are somebody who wants to spy against the Chinese, let's say you're a Chinese national and you watch those CIA videos, you'll be like, shit, maybe I should speak up against my government. Just remember, America's not going to have your back if you actually get into the shit. They'll probably drop you as faster than you can actually expect. It'll blow your mind. And of course, when you look into, again, even further into how far the reach goes, one write-up by MrOnline.org writes in when he talks about, things like USAID. For instance, Oksana Romaniuk from the Ukrainian Institute of Mass Information warns that nearly 90% of her country's media outlets rely on funding from USAID. Now, I don't know how much USAID is really effective these days, after the whole Trump stuff, but to give you an idea, a lot of the money that America infiltrates around the world when it's into journalist systems or building websites it has to really make you think about how much of their actual money is there to, how much is it the US being altruistic, and how much of it is the CIA spreading its intelligence network around the world, right? So yeah, one Google search was what led to, again, an entire network of US operations basically being brought into the light. Now what makes this even more scary is Iran was one thing, but it actually completely fell apart when it came to China. So the way that they write this up is a firewall was used, this is according to Business Insider, used by the CIA to communicate with its spies in China, compromised the identities, and contributed to their executions by the Chinese government. Several current former intelligence officials literally told the actual Foreign Policy magazine. So for anybody that doesn't know, in a 2-year period, Chinese officials started accurately identifying spies working in the United States. Now the number's a little bit wild over here, but generally it's understood that over 30 plus were killed or actually captured by the Chinese for basically being fucking informants against their country. Now obviously China is, and most countries are usually scared of this, don't get it wrong. If a Chinese spy gets captured in the United States, I think some of them probably go through, like some level of fucking like courts, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them pretty much just get their fucking like lights turned out as soon as they get identified. And this goes pretty much the same for any country that's, people are spying. If you're a spy in a foreign country, it's high risk as hell, because immediately when you're captured, you're not treated with the same level of rights that an average person would be treated. You're already there with the worst of intentions. They're going to fucking kill you. The internet-based system brought over from the operations in the Middle East was taken to China under the assumption that it could not be breached and made the CIA invincible. When people tell you, we can't get hacked, nothing bad's gonna happen, expect the fucking worst. That's when it always happens. So ultimately, nobody really had to hack anything. The Chinese had shown incredible speed and accuracy, basically identifying every single one of these websites, whether it be primarily by Google dorking or other methods they had. But once they identified these sites and figured out who was basically pinging them all the time, they were able to accurately identify who was spying on them and basically killed them as soon as they got there. So basically, one Google search, if you really think about it, got over 20 agents, informants, whatever, killed in the process, basically making this one of the CIA's biggest blunders in history. And the thing about this blunder is the CIA doesn't actually really want to acknowledge it, because, like in their words, they don't like to comment on these actions at all. So it makes you wonder if they're actually still using similar methods, obviously with a lot more care put into it, simply because it's not a bad method if you think about it, right? It's only really a bad method if you get caught, which is exactly what happened. And that really happened because the CIA just didn't put enough effort into actually uniquely identifying or making these sites look different in the grand scheme of things. So really, when you look at this method, you think, okay, having like one of these sites that blend into the rest of the internet seems pretty cool, It's like kind of having an unlisted YouTube video and sharing the link on like a super private Slack so people can get like video messages, maybe without sharing it, hiding in plain sight kind of stuff. But ultimately, it was really the fault of the CIA when they couldn't accurately hide each and every single one of these websites. And when it took a bunch of Iranians to find this, I don't know why the CIA didn't decide to maybe switch things up or really reassess this method, because reusing it again in China against an adversary that is far more technologically advanced, no disrespect to the Iranians, but China just has a lot more resources to throw. I don't know what the fuck the CIA was expecting. Really, the death of these informants, and a lot of these informants really probably just wanted the best. Maybe they were given some kind of a deal, to get out of the country, but ultimately when they got caught, the CIA didn't do shit to help them out. They didn't even send a strike. They didn't care. Once you get caught, the CIA is like, whatever, we don't give a fuck. It's the coldest shit you've ever seen in your life. That's the kind of stuff that happens. So think twice before you work with any 3-letter agency. Doesn't matter what country, none of them have your back. And ever since then, it appears that the CIA has just tried to rebuild their network, but obviously it's just not as easy to do. Because again, China is an advanced, also adversarial country too. So again, this stuff happens all over the world. There's spies everywhere. But when it comes to some of the biggest countries in the world, the shit you see will blow your fucking mind. Why would the CIA make a Star Wars website? Yeah, because it's hiding in plain sight. Until, of course, you make such a grave mistake that getting exposed, all 800 plus of your websites getting exposed, not just by counterintelligence agencies, mind you, but a lot of this stuff could have been discovered by, again, just private researchers like from the University of Toronto's Monk School. And again, they even say it, using only a single website, as well as publicly available material such as historical internet scanning results, we identified a network of 885 websites. So again, they were working with internet archives. Imagine if they had the real enchilada to play with. They even say, had we conducted the research while the servers were still online, as China and Iran likely would have, we would not even have needed to rely on the Wayback Machine and other tools. Knowing only one website, it is likely that while the websites were online, a motivated amateur sleuth could have mapped the CIA network and attributed it to the US government. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire story. You know, it gets a little bit long-winded, I agree, but I have to give you every aspect of this tale. Because really just telling you and showing you these websites does a disservice to the entire tale. To show you, right? Like obviously it's a pretty ingenious method, you know? Obviously you could ask why not just use the dark web or why not use other methods? I'm sure that those methods are more used nowadays, but obviously the hiding in plain sight to basically give an extra layer of security and obscurity to your agents out in the field is kind of a smart thing to do, right? Until of course you use the same headers and data types on all of your websites and you basically have shit exposed. Once one domino fell, the rest fell too, and that was pretty much game over. So, you know, ultimately, it is one of the biggest blunders of the CIA, and this is a story that, you know, got a bunch of informants and agents killed in the process. And all of it happened through Google dorking, or at least primarily through it. Once the Iranians could figure out a bit of code, they were like, all right, let's just use Google, find all these websites, and then boom, tell your actual team to go out on the ground, get in the cars, load up the rifles, and start whacking agents. Really the craziest shit you'll ever read, man. You know, it's one of those things. I read literally, and just to top it off with the video, I keep reading stories about like, the US hacks China, or the Chinese hacks the US like government emails. And I feel like cybersecurity stuff, you know, it's like once you've seen one hack, it's whatever. Once you start looking into the blunders of intelligence agencies and their plays with computers, shit will shock you. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out.
Hey, what's Gus here?
What's on the front page of YouTube? Because I'm apparently like locked the fuck in. Sorry, y'all. VLLM just kind of like came out of nowhere, and I was like, huh. I don't even know how I got here anymore. I was talking shit on, in my like mental image of the world, reality and everything. I was talking shit on Olama, and I just wound up here, and I don't know how that happened. I don't care how it happened either. But like in my little mental image of reality, I was like, you know what really sucks dick? Having to like capitulate. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just put my embedding shit in VLLM instead. I don't know why, I just wanted to. So I guess I should probably stop the stream and just go fuck with this. Or I can go find some cha-cha note. I'm gonna find some cha-cha note. Let me just go back one here. Let me go over here. Let me take this one over. I'm not watching this on stream. They're correct about something, but this is like, I brought up the person trying to reverse engineer social security numbers and shit. I bring them up because like that is explicitly a thing that I refuse to talk about how to do on stream ever under any circumstance. Like I just will not talk about how that's done here. Like, I'm sorry, it irks me. I'm not a fan. I'm just in a talking playlist. Y'all don't make fun of me, or do. I don't really care. That's fine. I'll be off stream shortly. I'm just you're apparently stuck with me while I get cozy in my shit. Dope, right? Dope. Dope. So the reason I'm gladly putting this in VLLM is I've had this dilemma for a while where if I try to do like autocomplete from within continue, it explicitly shits the bed and like crashes my extension host with VS Code. And I'm a little bit salty badalty about this. And like I've narrowed it down so there's nothing else causing it. It's like quite honestly just continue causing it to shit the bed. And am I happy with this? Not really. Am I mad about it? No, not really. I don't give a fuck, honestly. That's kind of the thing. I just don't care. I do care, but I try to pretend I don't, so I act all stoic like iDubbbz. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see, can I do something to like offload it a little bit? Yeah, I'll try that. Autocomplete Gwyncoder 7.7b It's not like it's killing it itself, maybe. I don't use the, like, I'm not really evoking it. It is autocomplete happy. Tokenizer? Let's see if it tries to autocomplete. Let's just type MIT and see if it does it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna try to, like, use VS codes for this. Oh. No, it's trying. Okay, cool beans. I'm just gonna type MIT on the top of it. I'll remind myself. Do I ever use not MIT? No, I don't. I'm very simple. I'm very, very simple. I do the same thing every time. See, it goes to create embeddings, and like the extension host just fucking, it Hadokens itself in the kidney. So that's cute. Tits on my bits. Okay, so I want to take something from their example, and that's just from VLLM, import VLLM, GG's, good enough. And I don't need to take their prompts in particular. I just want to remember how they're doing this and map my own model in, because I have a preference, and it's actually stored inside of public fucking thingy. Wait, do I have this on GitHub? What the fuck? What the fuck did I name this repo? Is this even a public repo right now? What the fuck is wrong with me? I thought it was. Oh, yep, it has the worst name. Oh, it's actually a private repo? That's cute. I thought this was a public repo, so I was being very, like, mindful to not spam it with, like, bullshit commits no one wants to deal with. Anyways, Olama deploy. There we go. There we go. There we go. Entry point. Entry point.py. I'm just moving everything from it. So like Quinn 3 embeddings is good for embeddings, and you know the 8 billion's nice, but you know the 0.6b is pretty fucking dope and convenient and small, so I don't have to really do very much there. I have no idea if this is gonna grab it from where I think it is. Are we done building my Conda environment yet? What the fuck is wrong with this? Why does it hate me? Why are we zipping this? Okay. Oh, prompts and outputs, so it looks all pretty, and then embeds is up there. Okay. This is cute. I'm just gonna make sure that I save a note to myself of their embeddings example in embeddings.py because that's convenient. And I don't have to think. I can just go and find it later. That's adorable. Is it gonna try to autocomplete for me this time? I'm just seeing if autocomplete flashes, because it ought to have done return like ret extension host keeps dying. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. Okay, y'all, my lovely chat. I'm getting off stream because apparently I have a thing I want to do, and I can't really help myself. And yeah, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know why I am this way, but I am this way, and I can't really help myself. Did I really just like murk the old command? Oh no, it was activating my conda in for me. It's really cute like that. Why'd it do that 3 times? That's very strange. We'll just make decode.pys, so I get in the habit of observing this and, like, know what I'm gonna put here later. Alright, y'all, thank you. Thank you for being. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being you. And thank you for fucking existing. Ooh, wait, I could have examples in their repo? Oh my god. Not anymore, they don't. Examples. Yeah, they do. Okay, dope. Little readme, resources. My lovely chat, thank you so much for putting up with my egregious bitch ass. I would apologize more, but my extension host keeps crashing, and every time it does, it spams this. And there's no other, like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It is definitely continue. So I'm gonna see if it still does this when I get back on, like, tomorrow. I'll be just sitting around. You can guess what I'll be doing. But being a nerd, that's the answer. And being critical of intelligence services that don't just take over other people's hardware when they want to use a dead drop. Anyways, take care. Be well. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, probably. Yeah, y'all are my outstanding homies. Thank you for being cool. Thank you for tolerating me. I'll catch you all later on. Z's. Oh, I'll put timestamps in now before I forget, because I always forget those. Holy shit. I've been forgetting them, like, not always, but I've forgotten them like 3 or 4 times, and that's pretty fucking egregious. So, timestamps for all. Timestamps for everyone. Auto-tune. 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 I really can't help myself. I've been like a nerd a lot more about certain shit, so I just have to like feverishly dig into stuff that I find intriguing right now. If I had the willpower to not, then that would be different, but I currently don't.